evening. Welcome. I apologize for that delay. I'm sorry that we're so late. Hi, everybody. My name is Prax. Welcome to the channel. Tonight is the first episode for our final arc in Carousel Court, our Southern Gothic urban fantasy game. We are in 1985. Things are psychedelic and groovy in the best way. And we're going to go around and let everybody introduce themselves and say, what? What is your favorite Tina Turner song? You or your characters, I will accept either. So why don't we start with Lynn, who's back with us, and we've missed you so much.
Hey everyone, I'm Lynn, Shive, and tonight I will be playing probably a number of the Quan family tonight. We'll see how this goes. And I am terrible with song titles, so like I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So like I will pass. I will
Pass. Okay. Okay. I'll accept it. For now. Then why don't we drop directly below Lynn on our overlay to the wonderfully fabulous Trooper. Happy Streamiversary, Trooper.
Thank you very much. It's also Lindy's streamiversary because we're streamiversary twins.
Oh, well, then
I'm
happy.
JP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we both started same year, about like 2 days apart from each other.
It's a little uncanny. Yeah.
I don't know which one was stalking the other because I can't remember which one came first by the 2 days, but nonetheless,
I don't
not the
remember
point.
either. Yeah.
I'm Trooper SJP, and I'm happy to be here. And I am Jaegering the Masters, the Musgrove family. And for Arc 3, I'll be playing Masters Musgrove. And his favorite Tina Turner song is probably, because he tends to be up to the moment, We Don't Need Another Hero from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which came out this year, 1985. So I imagine that would be the one that he would go with.
Thank you for letting me know about a correction that had to be made. And now it's done. Hey, Lindy. Happy Streamiversary to you, too.
Oh, thanks. I didn't do anything to celebrate other than playing on Trooper's channel.
Well, that seems like it was a fun
There
time.
you go. Hi, I'm Lindy. I'm very excited to be here playing Marta Ardeline, who is the head of the Ardeline household, and I'm sure it's fine and that everything is gonna be great. I don't know a lot of Tina Turner songs off the top of my head, so we'll go with the one that I do know, and that's What's Love Got to Do with It.
It did come out on the album the year before and was trending this year in 1985, so oddly appropriate. We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Wait. Why is that Marta's song?
I didn't say it was Marta's. I just said it was mine because I don't know a lot of Tina.
Because
I don't know which Tina Turner song would be suited to Marta because that's the only one I know off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more than I would recognize
if I heard them. Marta doesn't have feelings about love. That's all. Like, what if she's like, what if Marta's like, I don't care about love? I'm just asking.
She might.
Because
I mean, I'd have to revisit the lyrics, but yeah, it could be.
But what does that mean about her romance? That because there's all the shipping
what
going
romance? On. Oh, what?
all the shipping going on.
There is a little bit of shipping. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I love when my players are shipping behind the scenes. It's great.
But it might fit Marta too. I'm not gonna lie. It fits. It's good.
It fits. It fits.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that sub, Trooper. I appreciate it. 26 months of wonderfulness. And thank you, Pope, for that sub earlier. Appreciate you as well. Hey, Pope. That's a great transition.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build and all the socials. Playing members of House Grown. I use he, him pronouns. And favorite Tina Turner song comes out 4 years later than when we were playing, and that's The Best.
Ooh, very nice. Very respectable.
That is 89. Followed closely by We Don't Need Another Hero. because yeah, that just again, you should go back and look at her discography. She's got a lot of great hits. Also, I I'm not absolutely certain about this anecdote, but I like to believe it's true. Is that Mick stole almost all of his moves from Tina?
I could believe it.
That's true. They had Ike and Tina opening their tour because a lot of those British blues folks from London were sort of obsessed with Ike and Tina. So that is true.
I could see that.
So I just I heard that and I'm just going, it makes too much sense, especially after seeing them live. But that's actual Pope, and that experience won't happen until the Bridges to Babylon tour far later.
Just saying that the moves like Jagger actually moves like Tina.
Yes. Also, if you can go back and see some of the performances she did for the music awards,
Yeah. Mhm.
see all of her backup dancers try to keep up with her.
Fun fact. I'll come back to that because it's PB's turn, and then I'll let you know my fun facts. It's PB.
Hi. Hi, hello. I am PB. Today I'm going to be playing the Walters family, probably more Louis than anyone else, but you know, there's only like 4 of us, so we switch around. So the Walters' favorite song is River Deep Mountain High. And Luis's favorite at the moment is Am I a Fool in Love?
Pardon me. That is an amazing song.
Uh-huh.
So
Mhm.
much love. Like I just need to let you know that now it's in my head, and I thank you for that.
So
You're
much
welcome, you're
love for
welcome.
that as well. So my favorite story about Tina is when, in the '90s, a little bit later, when Dolly was running her talk show. Billy, welcome in. When Dolly was running her talk show and she and Tina were on, and really she and Tina both had um, the like the flapper style drop sequence that shifted, and the only person who could keep up with Tina when she was doing Proud Mary was Dolly. I just wanted to see more of them together because I think that's great. Also, side note, entirely not sponsored in any way, shape, or form because she doesn't know that I exist. But who else is very excited for the Dolly Parton rock album, which will be dropping in the next 2 weeks? All excited. All excited. No one said Private Dancer. That is a good song. Also, we should all just agree that regardless of what our opinions about our favorite Tina Turner song are, our favorite Tina Turner hairdo must be Thunderdome. But it is Savannah, Georgia in 1988.
85.
Hmm?
85, not 88.
1985. 1988 will be next time, but 1985. It's a good year. It's a really good year for music. George Michael is asking, well, will he ever dance again? Bryan Adams is sharing some love for the summer of '69. Aretha's showing us how to get down the freeway of love. Billy Ocean, well, there's a little lover boy hanging out with him. And not to beat out, Tina Marie has introduced us to the lover girl. But this is where we open. The world has changed since 1982. when we left off. Unfortunately, Susie Masters does not get her VP bid. It's what happens when you get arrested and charged with a possible homicide, although she's never convicted. Beginnings of conspiracy theories, maybe. We'll never know. Maybe we will, and we'll find out. A lot of people have moved out of the neighborhood. A lot of people have changed over. Javier is living in the Solano house. His Aunt Ari is moved home. No one is seen who's living in the Sycamore house for the last couple years. The lights are on occasionally. You see a car in the driveway. But no one stops at parties or potlucks. Nobody brings a covered dish over. No conversation. And that gentleman living, well, where the Grimes used to live. Stylish. Suave. Debonair. Jacob Hunt. He greets people on occasion, but doesn't seem to... Very busy individual. Doesn't seem to socialize much. And Isabella Hall is embracing her full-on, I am the old spinster southern lady life, and is judging everybody and anybody as much as she can and wants. But it's November. There's a light chill in the air. What are you doing this fine Sunday afternoon?
You zoom into the other lot house of the Walters that now belongs to Luis and his wife, Shelley. And you see them in the between the dining room and the living room. The radio's on. I was going to say the record player, but I remember what year we were on. And they are dancing along with just whatever song comes on. Kind of like when you're like at a wedding and just dancing at whatever is happening. And they're just there laughing, enjoying themselves. You see that both her and Luis have like a smudge of some sort of like maybe batter on their face from a forgotten meal in the kitchen. And you'll hear an advertisement in between the songs, and Luis will roll his eyes because it is his grandfather Umberto doing an ad for his new Love Advice radio show, Love and Lust. His call-in show, and he rolls his eyes at that ad, and takes that moment to. Oh, you can absolutely have more information when we get to Umberto later.
I feel like you can't. Oh man.
And so they take that opportunity to sort of separate, and Luis asks, Shelly what her plans are for the day. Louise still having just graduated from SCAD and is now working at a local shop while he, you know, figures out his own thing and how exactly he wants to continue pursuing fashion. And Shelly responds with like oh well, today I'm going to go. I'm gonna go out to the shops first and see if there's anything new out. And then I'm going to go grocery shopping, and then I'm gonna go stop by my friends, and we're gonna have a talk. But speaking of talks, have you thought more about what we talked about before? And Luis, sort of like that very like joyful look on his face kind of just like falls a little bit, but he continues smiling and is like, "Oh, um, yeah, let's talk about it later. I'm about to run late for work, so we'll talk about it later. I'll just have a safe day. Hope you find something good at the shops." And he hurriedly like goes and kisses her on the cheek and just grabs his bag and keys and gets out of the house at that. And Shelly is like, "Fine, we'll talk about this later, but don't think I'm going to forget." And Luis runs out to his car and drives away to go to work at a local shop.
Indeed. What does he do at this local
Started from the bottom and we're still at the bottom. He's working um at a boutique in town, and he is right now he stocks the just regular old retail work is what they have him doing right now, just um moving around clothing. Right now he's probably going to switch out clothing for the season, and so which is why he is so busy right now. He has to get there real quick. It's a lot of clothes he has to move around. But right now he's still at the bottom. Um, able to look at all the clothes and see the catalog, but not really do anything special aside from just regular old retail work.
Indeed. Indeed. So, he doesn't get to go to D&D on Sundays. Now, here's the question though. Does he, it's Sunday in retail, and even in Savannah in 1985, you're going to have Sunday hours, which means you're only open 12 to 5. So did you
Yeah,
move D&D till later in the day?
it's
Or
up to the young ones of the group. The young ones of the group.
young ones of the group, I believe that is um the
It depends on the 17-year-old.
yeah, that 17
Yeah.
year old. Or, she's no longer 17. She technically is 20 officially.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Marta. Yeah.
Yeah, Marta is 20 and Persephone is 17. Yeah, because
I
that's
like
how that works.
the shift in the tone of your voice. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, Marta, it's D&D day. But if people can't make it, we can postpone. We have to have a makeup session. That is the stipulation for anything involving D&D time for Marta.
Have like a side game for people who can make it in the afternoon, but can't make it in the evening.
You know, that's also an acceptable alternative, but that's in addition to the makeup session. Like, we didn't drag all the stuff up from the basement to not play D&D at least once a week.
Do you need help bringing
Okay.
things up from the basement?
No. So dark. There's so many spiders. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Indeed. Indeed. So there's going to be a one shot. Question is, do we continue to play D&D or has RuneQuest been thrown
Well,
out?
it's still D&D, but I have a feeling I know what the one shot is.
Oh yeah.
It came out the year before, so it's definitely on store shelves, and that would be Paranoia.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Oddly appropriate for this group of individuals.
It's crazy.
I don't know if you want to play Paranoia with Marta. That's all I'm saying. I just don't know if that's what we want.
Well, you know.
Well, okay, if we're not playing Paranoia, are we playing the newest thing, which would be Mechton?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The sci-fi. The mech. They're Japanese. The Japanese love their mechas. I saw this cartoon.
Voltron came out the year before. I want you all to know this.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 great shows that are currently running that were began in 1984: Ghostbusters, Mechton, or not Ghostbusters the movie, Voltron the TV series, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All aired in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
And
that the latter one definitely has not caused anyone to buy turtles and possibly radioactive waste. Definitely not. Just saying.
I would also like
for
to point...
the sake of science, if someone were to
I
have
need a
done
roll. I need a roll.
Okay.
And it will have a very high DC because of this.
Yes.
I need...
Because, Chernobyl hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't, but
So...
there are a couple other problems that have.
Yes.
I
not
need...
Chernobyl. That's the big one.
I need a persuasion
70s, right?
bargain.
A bargain?
I need a persuasion bargain.
Persuasion bargain. Oh, okay.
And it will have a higher DC. Because technically no one's supposed to have radioactive waste.
Look.
It's all supposed to be going to this place called Johnson Atoll, where literally there are 2 things. The location where the United States military...
You can have a radioactive waste heist.
Yeah, it's in Johnson Atoll. You're welcome. There are 2 things there: monk seals. 3 things. Excuse me. Monk seals.
Yes.
The storage location for the spent radioactive rods for the United States, and a bunch of other shit in a dormant volcano, and a United States Coast Guard base.
15.
15 is very good. You know a guy.
Yes.
Your charming brother who went to
yes,
managed to find, a Russian, particularly at this point. This actually makes sense. It's 1988. It's 1985. This is actually going to make sense. There were a couple of Russian Soviet, members of the Federation who are looking to unload some stuff. You can get a hold of it.
Cool.
Right now, you don't have any.
Okay. Well, I'm getting some turtles in preparation.
You can get the turtles in preparation.
Turtles.
And your brother in across the pond can get a hold of it. Now it's the
Cool.
how do you safely transport it across the Atlantic Ocean and smuggle it into the United States without setting off a bunch of, Cold War era nuclear detectors.
I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll work it out.
Yeah. So
With enough shielding, you can do anything. Just
You-
enough
you-
layers.
you've managed to get you've got it in possession now. On one side of the you have
Great.
acquired.
Look,
now needs
The
to
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mean, yes, they were made overnight, but like it takes time to have all this happen. For science. I mean, theoretically, if someone were to do these things, in the
Mhm.
shed of the house. Anyways, yeah, carry on.
For science.
Science.
Hey, Youngja. What you doing? What's going on at the Quan household?
The Kwan household is actually quite busy. Like there's a bit of activity. The previous few months, the unfortunate passing of their father
Mm-hmm.
happened, and they're both here now.
Mm-hmm.
Both Zhenghua and Youngjia are in the area. Um, and it's a little bit of it's a little hectic and stuff like that. They're still like in the process of like Youngjia is in the process of having her stuff moved in from New York back into the house. So like it's stuff isn't quite trying to put another house inside another house is a lot, especially with having to keep an eye on her 10-year-old Petra, who if
Ooh.
huh?
So her 10-year-old child, is there a partner in the picture?
No.
Her sister came back from Korea though. Does the
Mhm.
sister have a partner in the picture?
Yes. She also has two kids, although they're older. They're probably around like 16 or 17.
They
Mhm.
can join the D&D group if they want.
Oh, they're in boarding school right now.
Oh,
They didn't want to leave. I don't think they would be happy having to leave Korea and just having to be down
Petra
here.
can
and stuff like that.
come.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh.
fine.
I like to
Look,
think that Petra can come,
Persephone
but like
was playing when she was 10, and that was a
but
handful enough.
Petra, like I like to think that also maybe like Petra's allowed to come. Petra's watches because maybe once Petra was allowed to play and
No,
no,
wasn't allowed to come back.
just the rules do not like restrain like what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect that would have
A
been
lot
fine
of
for
why.
some of the players, but
There's
a lot
perhaps
of
not
why.
for Marta.
Yeah, I think other people may be fine with it. And it's like, no, your DC, the AC is this.
I want a
Can't
robot
have
lion.
unicorn.
Robot unicorn?
You can't have
What?
one.
No, no robots.
Why?
Because they do not. It has to be a clockwork mechanism, and it comes from the plane of Mechanus. And just long tangent.
Yeah, it's like,
Very long tangent.
but you have a horse.
A regular horse, a flesh horse. You could eat it if you were near starvation.
So you have a horse and I don't get a horse. Why can't I get a horse?
This is
It's
your
a lot-
first
it's a
session.
lot
You are
of-
level 1. You're much higher level.
Also a thing.
Because you weren't. You had to start from level 1. You didn't get to just jump in at the same level as everyone else. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. Bless.
Like how do I
Bless
get more?
it.
How do I get to a level where I get something like that?
Play the game.
Maybe
I want
you
to play a game where I
wanna,
don't get a horse.
If you were paladin, you might be able to get a mystical horse. So I'd suggest.
Yes, you could
paladin.
summon Steed.
Right now? Shira has a horse.
Ugh,
I wanna be Shira.
Yep. No. Shira. I bet Shira is a paladin actually. what I think.
If I had to
Sure,
classify
that's
Shira,
loading.
yes, Shira would be paladin, but Shira is not level 1 paladin. Shira killed
What
enough
ID,
goblins and other
1E?
things and pecks of wolves to level up.
Processor, I was like, I want to be Shira. There's a lot of that. It's a lot of like. She's a big believer in narrative control rather than like rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
she
yeah.
is. I can tell it.
Yeah, she wasn't
The
invited
problem is
back.
that Marta's there, and I
Yes.
feel like Marta is not.
Yeah.
Stephanie would
But
have
you
been fine
figure,
with it.
but you figure out once you sit her down, like not the table,
Uh-huh.
she'll pay attention. She'll like stare rapt like she's better at like listening and like watching everyone else play.
Bless.
So
She can
maybe
hang
that's
out.
what
Yeah. There's
young
a lot
Dawn
of snacks.
maybe there to talk to Opal maybe, and young
Oh,
like
Opal would love someone to talk to.
and
Yes.
Petra can just like watch it, just like just rapt attention.
And if she gets bored at that, there's 24/7 martial arts movies playing in the living room in front of a tank of turtles.
All the Hong Kong imports.
Yeah. And it's Bruce Lee, you know. The occasional Chuck Norris in addition, because, you know, that's acceptable too. But mostly
Michelle Yao is right there. Why do we need Chuck Norris?
Well, of course. Well, that's a given. But like, if you're gonna be 24/7, you want variety.
She just started her career, so at this point, really, you've got Yes, Madam, and there are two other films that are much smaller. So it's not if you're gonna do only Michelle, you only get
Yes, Madam, at least.
Like,
yeah,
we're
Yes,
talking
Madam
which
is
is
a thing
amazing.
that Yes,
all the
Madam is
things.
amazing.
Any kung fu movie, martial arts film is on loop in the television. Just there's like a stack of VHSs, and it's like the next one goes in, and then the next one goes in, and then it gets put in the rewinder.
Are they but I don't think they're VHS actually. Fun fact, I bet they're betas.
Might be. No?
No, they'd be Betamax if you're imports.
If you're importing the
no,
there are tapes. There were.
There's both hooked up.
There's tapes
I know the
and
existence.
We have money.
Something.
There's both.
No, most of them 1985 most of them would have been Betamax. Now Bruce Lee you could have gotten VHS, but the Hong Kong ones if you're bringing them in were originally on Betamax. Coming out Hawaii. Cuz a lot of the people who were stationed there at the time were bringing them back. And people were believed that Betamax would win. It didn't. It's fine.
The low Hubble swap meet is great to find those. Used to be fine. Great to find those things.
No, I also have a feeling there's some things on Laserdisc.
In about a few years.
If it's a video medium, we have it. We have money. You get all the stuff.
So then I guess the last question is for House Gwillem. Who is attending this event?
Well, if it's D&D night, it's Apollo is in attendance. With the expanding of the group and people being back, the amount of food that is brought over has expanded. So on top of the usual thing of Swedish meatballs and the devil's food cake and a variety of sodas, there is also added to the D&D potluck. Considering that it is November and it is a Sunday, there is pumpkin pie, deviled eggs, and apples that have been cooked with red hots.
A staple for some people.
Especially in the South. So all of that has been brought over for well, again, we'll have to wait on D&D for this new one shot of mech ton
Mm-hmm.
because I have a feeling Apollo has had to have a crash course in mecha.
Marta would have needed that crash course as well. You both probably underwent the crash course.
Yeah, like I could see
At
the
like
two
the
of
next
them.
door, we watched like, all right, this is the required watching medium for our one
Yeah,
shot next week.
yes.
We have to watch this.
Like we were assigned this specific homework.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I didn't mishear what I just heard. So Marta and Apollo are just sort of hanging out for a while, just learning, learning up on mecha. Is that right? Just like long
Culture.
hours hanging out
Cultural.
together.
Yeah.
I have this
Cool, cool,
next
cool, cool.
question. I have this next question. So you're preparing for Mechton, which means you're definitely watching Voltron. You're definitely watching Macross. You're definitely watching the original Gundam Wing.
Blade Runner 2.
Gundam, no
as well.
Gundam.
Yeah.
Not
There's a
Gundam, not
little
Gundam
bit-
Wing, the original Gundam. I'm sorry. I suddenly automatically put Wing on the end of it. No, it's just Gundam. It's the first Gundam
I
series.
think you have Zeta. I think this is Zeta period. I think.
Yeah. Well, it's not 00 and it's not Unicorn.
Well, it's Zeta.
Yeah.
Zeta came out in '85.
Mobile Suit Gundam, yeah. And then but then
the Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta's just coming out right now.
yeah.
So it'd actually be
It would 100% be Macross because that thing took its fire in like that period
And-
of time.
yeah.
Yeah, and next time I can ask the very
Except that
important
you would be calling it Robotech.
Yeah, you'd be calling
we would be calling it
Robotech.
Robotech, and then next year is when Mech Warrior happens.
And then in 1988, one of my favorite mech series of all times, and legitimately the one with the best soundtrack, will be released, and that is Legend of the Galactic Heroes. The original, not the remake.
No, I mean like that's not a mecha show. I don't think.
Yeah, yes, okay. Giant space opera with the occasional mech. I will grant you it's not Gundam
That
Wing.
is. That's not the focus,
Gundams,
but I
yeah.
will be. I am very strict
but-
about my mecha stuff.
Yeah,
I will accept that. I will accept that.
There has been from the rest of the group a curated list of things that we have had to acquire. Some
Mhm.
things got shipped overnight. Expenditures were made.
Yes. Yeah.
Masters Musgrove.
He cannot play at night. They've always been playing in the afternoon, but he is there ready to play this one shot because it's D&D Sundays. So he's ready, ready to go, and he. Did they know that they were playing a one shot today, or do they think they're playing regular D&D?
I think people
they
had been
knew,
alerted.
because
Yeah.
but
'Cause we were able
having
to do
played
cultural
Mechton-
homework.
and the cultural homework, there's a lot of math involved.
Yeah.
There's
Fair-
tweaking.
Yeah.
How much does it
He
weigh?
probably still has his cloak, that he throws on over his like
Mhm.
regular.
The cloak's
'cause,
still good. The cloak's still good.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So he's ready to go.
But
for,
Marta
for...
took away from all those films. Was like, all right, so I'm wearing an entirely leather ensemble. All right, and then just went with it.
Oh.
Okay, if we're going to have complete lack of subtlety and we're going to fully embrace the 80s,
Yes.
I think it's like
And-
the leather pants and the leather vest, and that's
I-
it because
I-
that's
I-
very just yeah.
I just want all of you to quickly Google Shar Aznabel,
Oh my God, are you?
and
Are you?
he has made the helmet. He has metal worked the helmet, and has gotten tailored the jumpsuit.
Good. Wait, okay, okay, so we're talking. Could go to the way. You could have Zeta Char, which is
Look,
also my favorite.
I
gonna
would like
point
to
out-
point out. Go.
That Masters has got his D&D cloak, and he walks into the room, and there's like Marta in full-on 80s leather
You have
rock
the
goddess,
helmet.
and then we have Apollo full-on custom suit and helmet, and he's like, oh.
Excellent cosplay. It's
These people
excellent.
have money.
Money
Yeah.
and free time.
Money and free time.
Your
Yep.
peripheral. Unfortunately, the peripheral vision is still no
Because
good.
I will
That
say
is
right
that
now,
is a hard helmet.
Marta does not have a job.
I
Marta
agree.
does not
Oh,
work.
I
you work
Oh,
occasionally
that's right. I do occasionally.
at the funeral home.
I would also like to say I appreciate Coldrake's comment here. We need to immortalize this. This is why I'm reading it out. Marta was the inspiration for Kate Beckinsale in the Underworld series.
It's possible.
Given their relative size to one another, that's not entirely wrong.
Probably not. So upstairs in the game room, Mechton is happening.
Mm-hmm. The lights have all been changed out. Like the foil blankets, like the emergency foil blankets, have been thrown over like the regular D&D torture implements to like change the ambiance a little bit.
Oh, you know James has gone like because he's been doing the miniature stuff for the film
Yeah.
industry.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an entire set change.
There's like the wall panels like flip over and it's like sci-fi. Yeah.
Well, this is
what you get when you play with rich people who
This
have free
is
time.
exactly what you
and
get when you play
Also,
with
we're
rich people.
alive in the medieval era, so they can just bring out their old torture instruments because they still have them.
Yeah.
So while this is going upstairs in the game room, and Youngja is downstairs socializing with Opal, you know, having a good old-fashioned Southern ladies' tea, which is all about sharing vital information, and no one is at all gossiping, because gossiping is a sin, and we don't do that. But sometimes you just need to share some information and let everybody know what's actually going on. That's not gossiping. That's just letting folk know. And Luis is working hard, or hardly working. One of the two. It's a Sunday in retail before Thanksgiving. You're probably not doing a lot right now.
There's a phone call that definitely went to the shop. Are you sure you cannot make it to game today?
Marta, how many times have I told you
I am
don't call
just
me at work?
checking. I am a
Gonna get me into
customer. What is it you
trouble.
sell again?
I work at a boutique, Martha. How many times do I have to tell you?
Okay, I will buy something. Just put something behind the counter. I'll pick it up later. This way you're still working.
Oh my god. How can you even afford this? And I already am like looking through clothing that I've already been like, I would look good in this. I should really recommend it to her. And it's like, how do you
There,
even
you are-
afford
now you are
this kind
working-
of thing?
Are you really sure you cannot come to the game today?
I can't. I'm working right now. I have someone has to work in this D&D group.
Sure. How many wages would you lose if you did not for Monday work?
It's just
What
an
is a
appropriate
day's
amount of
wages
money
for
based off.
people these days? Totally didn't almost slip up and say peasant.
It's like, it's not about how much money I make right now, Marta. It's
'Cause we
about
could
trying to
pay you
get
to
into the
play
industry. Don't tempt me.
You could say it's a private consultation for your boutiquing, whatever trade that is.
It's clothing. Like like what I got you for your birthday? Like that
Oh, right,
kind of
that.
stuff?
Yes.
It's like, it's not about the money, Marta. It's about trying to make a name for myself in the industry.
So you need your sales to be really good to get Sundays off, is what I'm hearing.
It's just,
Do you work
like,
on? I think I've heard Opal say this. You work on commission.
It's like sometimes, yeah, I
All right.
do.
So,
I'll see what I can do.
well,
But I will not see you today, I suppose. Just put whatever it is behind the counter and I'll come in and pick it up tomorrow. And then just click. Just hangs up like phone. You're not coming.
Lewis, as you are on the phone, and really the only other person there is the Sunday shift manager, right? Because it's a Sunday, and you don't.
Mhm.
Sorry, retail workers. That's the third key, right? Like, it's not the manager, it's not the assistant manager, it's the third key. They are the ones who will be there from open to close on Sunday because they're the low manager on the totem pole, and they're kind of behind the counter doing some like general like they're in the back room doing some general like inventory management. This may or may not require them to have their feet up on the desk and their eyes diligently reading the order form. Just the order form's really close to their face as they're reading it. Like maybe lying on their face, but it, you know, their visuals or whatever. But
Hey, they've heard about this thing called osmosis. They're checking it out.
exactly. And you know, whether they can do reverse osmosis where they can just like tick mark on the supply order form like virtually and they don't need to actually hold a pen or anything. But while that's going on in the back room, a individual walks into your little boutique. White male, very stylishly dressed in a kind of aeropastel color block, salmon colored Oxford shirt with little blue and white pinstripes in a kind of like khaki off-white linen pant with a slightly thinner brown like alligator belt kind of thing going on and like little slides. Definitely looks like he could be anywhere, you know, hanging out at any of the clubs, not clubs, but any of the like the locations between Savannah and Miami. He got this little he's working on the Thomas Magnum mustache. It's not a Burt Reynolds, but it's, you know, maybe kind of getting there. Dark hair, dark eyes. And he's kind of got the sweater thrown over his shoulders, right? Like, you know, that well, if you were in New England, that Nantucket look, you know, just kind of tied loosely around his shoulders as he kind of is walking around in the store. You could roll me a awareness empathy or awareness notice, your choice. Either one is going to get you different information.
I think that's a 20. Why is this in dark mode?
It's a 28. You have 3 6s in that.
I'm very aware.
You are very aware. Like, there is nothing.
This is my domain.
Lewis, this man is. I'm going to use very particular language here, and I'm doing this very intentionally. He is a very particular type of gay man on the prowl. Of the upper class, professional rankings, artiste gay man looking for both attention and to further his business purposes. There is a, you know, those kind of, and Luis may have seen a couple of these, particularly at SCAD if he's in fashion school, those, you know, Tommy Hilfiger kind of people who are both very involved and publicly out in a time when still not great to be this public and this out in 1985 at the moment. Not quite as bad as it will be in the next year or two, but very public. And but also of the I am deigning to grace you with my presence. You should know who I am and worship the ground I walk upon.
So Marta.
Mm. You know, a comparison could be made that he's also a type of bloodsucker.
Oh. In this very moment, as Louis sees this man come into the shop, and he has just hung up. Well, Marta has just hung up on him. Um, and he's grumbling. He looks over at this man, and in his mind, he's like, Marta's kind of like this person. There could be a comparison to be made. And like, it's like, I'll file that one away for later. As he grabs like the last garment off of the rack, because like there's a lot of downtown in retail, so he's already thought about what his friends would look best in, and so when Marta was like, just grab me whatever, I already knew exactly what I was gonna grab. And so as he is grabbing the last of the items off the rack, and placing them on the rack behind the counter, he turns and looks at this figure and it's like, thank you so much for entering. Oh fuck, I didn't think of a name for this place. Thank you so much for entering.
We can go with what it would actually be. Well, because it's not Dillard's, because Dillard's would be an anchor store in a mall, and you're not working in a mall, are you?
No.
So we can just literally make it Lacoste.
It's a boutique.
We can make it Lacoste. A Lacoste.
Lacoste?
If you were in a mall, Marta would understand it more because she's been to one of those. She's like, I don't understand. I mean, you're not the mall, but you're not the tailor?
Lacoste isn't a boutique, is it?
Have you been to a Lacoste shop? Yes, it is.
I was but it's a chain.
Yeah, but it's one of those boutique chains like Hermes or Louis Vuitton. They have multiple locations, but they're market themselves as a boutique, as opposed to like Abercrombie and Fitch. Which, look, I worked in retail. There's no way in hell I'm subjecting any of you to the horror that is Abercrombie and Fitch. When you work in a mall, you walk all the way around an Abercrombie store because those people have to spray their crappy perfume through the vents of their store to actually get it to go outside into the mall to draw you in. I feel for them. Whatever. It's a boutique. It's boutique X, whatever it is.
And so I'm thank you so much for entering the Lacoste. Is there anything you're looking for in particular today, or are you just here to look around?
Before I answer that question, or have him answer that question,
yes.
How aware does Luis pay attention to both the social pages and current events in Savannah?
Oh, fingers on the pulse. He is always looking out for everything. He tries to be on top of everything for fashion trends and other things like that.
So you would recognize this individual, not just for fashion trends. He was a very, it's one of those, a lot of people would recognize him. He's kind of, well, not popular. Popular is not the right word to use here. Infamous. Infamous is a word to use at this moment. He's part of, he's slightly older. He's definitely looks like he's in his 50s, but he looks really good for being in his 50s. Like, really, really good. And Luis looks up at this man, and you are looking at one of the most infamous residents of the city of Savannah at the moment in 1985. One James Arthur Williams.
James Arthur Williams.
Because he was arrested in May of 1981 for the murder of a male prostitute. He was also very well known for buying up houses in the downtown area and around the historic district and leading the revitalization of the historic architecture of Savannah. I believe they are currently in 1985 on murder trial number 2 of attempting for the same crime. But he is also very well known for hosting very famous parties and inviting all of the appropriate well-to-do. And he is kind of giving you that eye of not sexual desire, Luis would know what those are, but a kind of more emotional vampirism. He sees something in Luis that he wants that's not sexual as he starts to walk toward you.
Does like it give me like the heebie-jeebies sort of feeling?
I mean, with a 28 in for empathy, I'm gonna say not necessarily heebie-jeebies, but you're like, you've met Mikey, right?
Yes. Oh.
You know that this would lead to bad choices all around. Like, there is a
I think there's a phrase. He's got that bad mojo.
yeah, he got bad mojo, but he draws you in. You also, Luis would also know that this man is very well involved and very has a lot of money, very fragrant with the spending of his money, and occasionally very encouraging to other artists that he believes needs a leg up in the community.
Luis will keep that same high welcome into the shop spiel that he gave at the beginning. And he will just as he's smoothing out the dresses and the things that he picked up for Marta, look over at Mr. Williams expectantly.
I believe you are Luis Walters, are you not?
That I am. And you must be.
You can call me
Mr.
Jim.
James Arthur.
Jim Williams.
Jim, all right.
I have a very dear friend. Very dear friend. Mr. Joshua Webb, I believe you may have had a course with the gentleman at SCAD. He was giving you quite a lot of praises. I have a job for you if you are interested.
What kind of thing did you have in mind?
I need a designer. I am having a event on the 1st of January at my residence, and I need an appropriate accoutrement with which to make a statement. Now, this current residence of mine is one of the last houses to be revitalized in the National Historic Register, and is part of the Savannah History Society's desire to improve and bring back the glory of these great houses on the garden, of course. I need something to match both the house and the vibe.
Let's see. How would I respond to this? Well, it's a wonderful thing you've been doing, Mr. Williams. I'm sorry, Jim. What kind of, do you want to sit down and talk about it now, or?
Well, I don't wish to take up too much of your time from your employer. And he kind of glances around. And with that 28, it's that level of, you definitely get the feeling of he's trying to say that you're better than the current location in which you are in.
It's, it's a small place, but, it pays the bills for now.
Why don't you, come see me for dinner? Bring a sketchbook. I look forward to seeing you. And he leaves his card sitting on the pile of clothes that you were folding. And walks out. Doesn't wait for any confirmation that you'll be there, doesn't wait for any negative response. He just walks out. This is also a man who very much knows how to use what he's got to draw attention to himself and make himself the center of presence in the space. And the card says Jim Williams, and it gives an address of the Johnny Mercer house, which is a real location. The actual address?
A Johnny Mercer house.
Yes.
Yes. A famous songwriter from Savannah.
It's 429 Bull Street, Savannah, Georgia, 31401.
Oh.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Phone would ring again as well.
I'm looking at the card. Louise will pick up the phone again and be like, "Hello,
Yes, I know you're working, but just throw something else behind the counter. I forgot to ask. What are your days off this week? Is it a regular schedule, or is your schedule just fucked? Do I need to speak to your manager? Do I? We have to schedule a makeup session. We're playing Mechton today, since you could not deign us with your presence for D&D due to your needing monies and work experience. So when is your day off?
I love you, Lindy, so much. Thank you.
It's Thanksgiving this week, Marta, so I have Thanksgiving off this week.
Yes, the Indians, Pilgrims, and Turkey Day, yes. Yes. When you Thursday off, you said? That is the Thanksgiving, yes?
Yeah, yes, yeah. I have
so
Thursday
we're playing
off,
on Thursday?
It's a family holiday, Marta. I'm gonna be with my family. It's an all-day event. I don't have off.
You only have one day off this whole week?
Yeah, Marta.
What if someone pulled the fire alarm in your store?
This isn't a high school, Marta. It doesn't work like that.
What if, while no one was working, your store burned down?
Marta, don't burn down my job. I need it for now.
So what you're saying is you cannot even make the makeup session this week because you have a family event. What about your D&D family, Luis?
I'm sorry. It's hard keeping a work-life balance right now.
I will speak to your manager later.
Please do. I'd love another day off this week.
All
I'm
right.
gonna get back to mecha
Are they
time.
are they in tomorrow?
My manager, I don't know. They come in when they feel like it.
All right, I'll be there.
Be there.
Waiting. And I click. And I just hang up.
Why am I suddenly scared for my manager? And it's gone. And I put away the phone. And I look at the card again and I flip it around. And I grab another thing off the stupid rack for Marta. And and yeah, I'll just continue working until the end of my shift.
Okay. What is young Ja doing in this moment?
I mean, we're like, what time? What time are we? I don't know.
I would say like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon at
Are
this
we
point.
still having the
Oh, they're
the
playing
session, or
Mechton upstairs.
Okay. I think she's gonna talk with Opal, I think.
Opal will be more than happy to talk with you.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for having her over. It's been a while.
Oh, of course, no problem. I know the first day she came over was a little rough, but I think we've worked everything out now.
I mean, she seems to be having fun. Everybody seems to be having fun.
Oh, they love it. They love it a lot.
Does it get better at, like, when they get older? Is it just different things?
It does it get better when they get older? Thinks about Marta upstairs, thinking that D&D is the absolute most important thing on the schedule in her life right now. You know, I think it's just different things. And they learn how to conceal it a little better. That's until they get really old, and then it's like they're a kid all over again. But I don't think you'll have to worry about that for quite some time.
Well, it's also nice to not necessarily be in the house either. Like, it's a little busy. Sister's over there.
Yeah, and we've got smorgasbord of snacks and drinks and who knows what else. I don't even know what they've got in some type of movie set piece. It's no longer. Anyways, how's it been with all the family and the? I mean, is there enough space? Do y'all need to put on an addition?
I mean, Jungwon doesn't live there. She just visits, spending time with mom. But my stuff hasn't necessarily got in all the way yet. We're in process. We'll see how it goes. It's just important that we're both here. As
That is
complicated
important.
as it is.
Nothing's more important than family. So
Yeah.
I understand.
At least with the stuff with Jungwon has gotten a little easier.
That's good to hear. I know it was a little turbulent there for a little while.
Mm-hmm. You know, not being able to see her for years at a time. I feel like I've only seen her kids like 2 or 3 times. I mean, they're almost out of high school.
Yeah, they're about Persephone's age, aren't they?
Yeah.
She's 17 now.
Mhm.
She's 17.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, at some point, maybe they'll visit. I mean, someone's going to be here for the long term, at least through the Olympics. So I think up to then she's going to be pretty busy.
Most
I mean,
likely.
hopefully she'll socialize at some point. I mean,
But
been
she's
wants to
always
tell all of you.
welcome around here. Just not in D&D room at D&D night.
I think that's fine. I think that's certain things that
It's very
mutual.
intense up there.
She'll like look down, like, yeah, I can kind of tell. It's like it's still, and then
think
there's like
Marta's
lots of
just
noise.
getting off the phone, is like, "Oh, fine."
I saw Apollo.
Yes.
I first,
He
for a second, I
and-
thought he joined the military in something. I didn't know.
No. He and Marta just they get really into the full immersion aspect of everything. I think they were even watching movies at the Gwillem house to prepare for whatever they're doing today. It's not their usual. It's
Oh.
sci-fi, but not Star Wars. That was made very clear that it is not Star Wars.
Oh, believe me, I've heard that. I've heard that
Yep.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Called one of like her robot shows, Star Trek, and
Oh no.
he was mad at me.
No.
I
Mm-hmm.
days.
Oh. I don't get the silent treatment. I hope it's the silent treatment for you. I get the full on lecture about how they are very different things.
He'll just find a hiding space and read.
There could be worse responses. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Still though, I mean, I like Star Wars. Star Trek seemed interesting. I mean, there's so many of them.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, just have to let them do their own thing. I mean, I can't tell them about what the stuff that they're mostly bored.
Yes, I'm very much trying to make sure that Persephone doesn't get bored. I just don't know what would happen if that happened. So we're doing a lot after school activities and things, and I know she hangs out with Apollo at the Gwillem house a lot. Her uncle Paulo, as she calls him still. It's pretty cute.
Yeah,
Wonder if that's ever gonna stop.
I have to get Petra in like some sort of like after school thing.
I recommend
It's
it.
gonna be hard for her to
really...
make friends. She had a hard time making friends in New York, and she's almost the age where she's going to need them. They're going to eat her alive if she doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Persephone hasn't made a lot of friends either. Not that she's unpopular. It's just that, oh gosh, I don't know if it's because we raised her around a bunch of adults, but she'd rather spend time with the older kids and the adults and people her age.
I think that's the same with Petra.
They all want to hang out with her though, and she's just very aloof about it. And I've had to tell her that you can't act so aloof. People think you're spoiled.
Aloof is better than like it's really hard. I hope she doesn't do it again. I hope it's really hard to get past, the girl that bites people.
I could see that. Yes. Yeah. There was a phase. Not with Persephone. But Oliver went through that phase a little bit.
How long did that last for?
Oh, let's just say that his grandmother was very quick in nipping that in the bud. Very quick. So it was a very short-lived phase, but it was a phase nonetheless. That was a time. I remember that. It impressed upon me at a very young age that I was not to bite people like that.
I mean, I don't want to be nosy. I mean, considering there's some weird energy around the table. Do you have any idea what that is?
Okay, so let me tell you what. I'm gonna pour like another glass of sweet tea for us. I'm probably pouring on Arnold Palmer's. Let's be real.
Well, this is like someone else is taking care. Someone else is taking care of it. It's
We're pouring Arnold
This is
Palmer's.
a break. This is break time.
So young Masters Musgrove.
Wait, I would like to reiterate: are these alcoholic or unalcoholic?
Oh, alcoholic.
Alcoholic.
Okay, then it's not that is not technically an Arnold Palmer. It's a Long Island because Arnold Palmer didn't want to drink.
We're having Long Island iced teas. Then we're having some Long Island iced teas. So wouldn't we? So, young Masters, I'm fairly certain it's been at least 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years now. He has the biggest crush on Marta.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's got it bad. Poor boy, bless his heart. Been pining away. Hmm.
And he's never asked.
He took her to an event once.
And
Um, it went better than I expected. However, the event was abruptly ended due to just some happenings. There was an event at the event, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
None of their doing, but it got cut a little short. And well, he's kind of a shy boy, and
yeah, I know.
Marta's
Yeah.
not. Um,
Although you should have seen him in his element up in your
oh,
theater.
I did hear that his acting was quite good.
Yeah, very.
I think Marta intimidates him a little bit. Not that I blame him.
Yeah, I can.
Um,
Very intense.
yep,
Very
she
intense.
sure is. Yep. So he hasn't really made any moves, I don't think. Oh, this is gonna sound weird. Meanwhile, Marta's been hanging out with someone else a little bit. I think she might like him a little bit.
Oh, who?
Oh,
Here, yeah, you have to have some.
Hey,
you obviously know.
Opal, I need some more of that fruit punch, the red stuff for
yes,
Marta.
I will get that for you, no problem. And I give young John the eyes. I'm like,
Like, she likes it like surprise.
I go to the fridge and I get some fruit punch and I bring it up and then I come back down and I sip my Long Island.
I've seen this before.
Mm.
This is for a group for colleagues. I've seen this trial. This is a time bomb. Unless
Oh, it's
something
gonna be
happens.
messy. I can't
I mean, I
do
don't
anything.
want. I don't. If Masters has his heart set on something, and such a good kid, and
He's a good kid. Mm.
but I mean,
Luis,
the,
look, the only reason he and Marta went on the event is because Luis said Marta don't do it, and Marta
Mhm.
did it. So
what you're telling me is this is
it's gonna be messy, and I can't do anything about it either.
secrets
And
on
you know what?
secrets on
I'm
secrets.
not even gonna lie. I think it's worse. Now she hasn't told me anything. I think Persephone might like Masters.
If this wasn't people who we love getting their hearts broken, this would be really
Uh-huh.
funny. But it's not. This is
It's not
it's a
funny, but
lot. How long?
but
So
it's
how long? How long is this the way that this cycle has been this current?
that's a great question.
Because at some point it's. I mean,
I don't know when it's gonna go up in
Petra's
flames,
gonna.
but it's
I
gonna
mean,
go.
Petra's gonna be heartbroken if there's no game, and I don't think
I
the way this is
know.
going,
I
there is
don't
going to
know
be
how
a
the game.
game.
I mean, the game might. I mean, if Marta has anything to say about the game, will go on. It's just how
This is
many
how
people
friend
will be
groups
left
explode.
standing.
This is how friends group die.
It's. Yep. Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, at some point, this is out of our control. This is
I
they're
have
almost adults, and
absolutely. I have very little control of this situation.
I mean, we all
I
have to make our
can
mistakes
guide
at some point.
Persephone a bit. I've tried to guide Masters a little bit, but he's much more interested in looking at Marta, and I can't do anything about Marta. She is strong-willed.
I mean, I wouldn't say anything if she didn't want to do so.
She often, if you say tell her to do something, she might just go and do the opposite out of spite. So I just can't. But you don't know when those moments are gonna be, so she might. It's doesn't work. That whole like flipping them and try to make them do it. It only works half the time. The other half should just go along with it. And you're like, oh no, okay. So
Well, I mean, at
it's
some
gonna be
point, they're going to
messy.
have to be on their own at some point. So either the stalemate happens, or
Sure.
I guess we'll know. And
You know, this is kind of a generational household. I don't know how many people are gonna go and how many people are gonna be mad at who and what and oh, and then we got James is Squillum, and so I don't know how that's so it's gonna be messy. And poor Masters. More Long Island?
Yes.
All right.
And she'll just like I think at this point I think her interest is a little big. Like what's keep an eye on
And-
this thing. Just
And Opal is talking extremely
yeah, I think we're
quiet,
both like yeah,
very hushed, very leaned in because some people in this house are excellent hearing.
yeah. Or just like if someone comes up from the base from the thing, it's like
People don't come
everything
up
is
from the
normal.
basement.
Or from the game room, or just like
From the game room, yeah. It's
yeah.
upstairs, thankfully.
Or
We've
they
got
come
and
down,
they've got
yeah.
the ambiance, and we've got the martial arts movies to help cover up stuff too. So it's great.
Yeah. We see we see Marta come down with the like oh that poor boy.
That poor boy.
Yeah. hmm Well, he stayed in the house because his mother had been arrested and tried, and so considering the ways in which she was set upon by enemies and all that, she does not have any interest in staying in this place. She's taken up prodigious amounts of money and has moved to a different town, a different neighborhood. Yes, because she found having um, enemies that close, she did not like it. No, not really. I only just got back, so I haven't been here very long. Uh,
Apparently, I've
staying
been
in,
muted for
in
Twitch.
New York.
That's a complication.
Uh, I was saying that he hasn't been living in the house. He's only just got back from New York not too long ago. Let's see if he's currently 22 to November. Oh, well, that says to me if it's November and he's 22 years old, and he went to college at all right, which also he dropped out though, so actually doesn't matter. So yeah, he's back, but he hasn't been here very long. Uh, so he's back to go and try to do stuff here, and so he hasn't gone and redecorated or anything like that. He's just sort of trying to do what he can do. He's quite busy, but right now he's enjoying his time with just playing the Mechton with Mechton. But he's enjoying his time with, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Luis isn't here, which is a bit of a shame because Luis is always his like good buddy. Just
And he will
makes
not be
everything
coming.
more- Oh, all right. Well, yes. I guess that's all right. I have made one of these mech tons. I feel like I'll be quite helpful in mech tunning. What are we gonna be doing, Mr. Gwillow?
You're
This
gonna.
is
You're muted.
Well, no. This would be James,
James.
who'd be answering, and
Mhm.
James's answer
He's-
is
he's
well,
oddly-
you're going to attempt to liberate this forward base on this asteroid. They're being overrun by the lizard monsters.
Mm.
All right.
The Solarians.
Well, Solarians. All right. Imagine that my characters perhaps was an orphan who is whose dream was to be a Mechton pilot to but has intense nightmares because he's been suffering from the war.
Alright. And while this game
Marta, what's your character's backstory?
Oh, I am a very advanced warrior. I think it says here. Yes, a bit. I was in the military, and now I'm a bounty hunter. I have a mech She like flops down the stats. Of course, everything is super min maxed, as per usual with Marta. And she goes, "Yes, I am proficient in the combat. I have a very cool sword that I use. I also have a gun, and I kick ass and take names." So let them move in.
Paige, if you want, you can move my miniature around when we get there.
Nope.
All right.
And Marta just shoots over, like,
And
"Don't dare touch mine."
I think part of me is like, I think Petra loves drama. I think this is like, I think she figured it
Oh.
out. Now this is what she watches.
Yeah, this is what she
Oh
watches.
no! So that's why she's here. I see. She's not here for the
She
roleplay.
clued
She's here
onto
for the
it
drama.
early. She like, the game
But
isn't
she's
fun.
here for both
What
the
the-
dramas. She's-
The seething tension is what fuels her at this moment.
I am terrified now of this 10-year-old with
Oh, no.
supreme people reading skills.
I have a very vitally important question. Just it's been noodling around in the back of my mind. I need to know this particular answer. For Petra,
Mm-hmm.
are they an observer? Are they a passive observer of this drama, or are they an active observer of this drama? Because I want to know if she's gonna stir some shit.
I think she's getting impatient at this moment. Like, this has become a stalemate.
She's been patient.
Like, she's waiting.
Oh, she gonna stir. We're gonna come back to that.
So we got the three in the thing. Lewis isn't here to calm things down. Lewis isn't
Nope,
here to
Luis
to
isn't
to
here to
mediate
calm things down.
Lewis isn't here to. It's just masters.
Oh no, there are four
Or
at
four,
this
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Persephone, it's like,
Oh, this is yes. Oh, this is great. Yeah, this is.
yeah. Well,
Oh
my
no!
character
Is it great? Wait, I'm sorry. Is it great, or is it Apollo, Masters, Persephone, and Marta all around the table? I'm wondering if it's great, or if that's not the word to use. I'm just curious, because
Some people would call it great.
arrows.
I think Petra might be calling it great because I think she might be going, "Oh wait, this is my own personal design and womanry afternoon."
And Luis isn't here to stop me. Well, my character, she's the daughter of a diplomat and a spy, and she's kind of like, she's good at talking, but she's also real good at sneaking around and doing. She's a scout, you know. I wanted to do something different from my healer,
No, yeah, that's a good idea.
Do you like scouts, masters?
Mr. Well, yeah. I mean, I think any kind of character that's got like an interesting sort of story and interesting motivation, I think that's good.
I have her backstory if you want to read it.
Oh, that'd be great. Sure. Mr. Gwillem, who are you playing?
Well, after copious amounts of media consumption, I have come to the conclusion that this entire war requires more gun.
April.
And so I have brought all of the guns.
Good.
I will be.
What's your character though?
Mysterious space colony mercenary.
Yes. Good choice.
How do your characters know each other?
What?
Does anybody?
Oh, that's a good question.
I figure for this scenario, it's I have been hired by the local government to join your squad, though I may have unknown ties to one or two of you that may be revealed in time.
Yes. Perhaps we worked together on jobs since you're a mercenary and I am bounty hunter.
Oh, that's possible.
I was also
Right,
contracted for
well,
this job.
this is like, this is some sort of like, is this like a, are we in a mercenary unit or are we in like a planetary military? What exactly are we doing? What's our motivation? What's the
Well, this
sort of
particular
setup?
installation is being currently overrun by the Solarians, but the interstellar government hasn't actually come out this far to this out of rim planet, and therefore the local governor, overwhelmed by this invading force, has turned to those who will perhaps engage in the sale of services for coin. Those as the and he hits, because this is James, right? Like he hits the button and
Yep, he's got the soundboard and everything.
he's got the soundboard and a synth version of the Magnificent Seven theme starts to play.
Important question. What is the seating arrangement at this table?
That is an
Oh,
important
yes, that
question.
is very important.
Well, if it's based off of our last seating arrangement,
Mhm.
which was Luis, Masters, Marta, Apollo, Persephone, then it's probably the same thing without Luis there. So James is at the head, and you've got Masters, Marta, Apollo, and Persephone.
But we also have a Petra now.
We
Where is
do.
Mhm.
That is.
I
Where
think
is
Petra's gonna Petra. Like, is there like a couch down there, or up here?
There could be like a
I think they could
couch
have
pulled up.
hauled
Yeah,
like a
Yeah.
small couch.
it's a
with, like,
fainting
that-
couch.
It's a look. Is it
It's
a fainting couch? Is it chaise
course.
lounge or a fainting couch?
Fainting couch.
I like this.
fainting couch with like the round side table over the high side and a small like thin coffee table in front.
Because I believe
Mhm.
this is we established that this room on the second floor was one of like the study rooms, because it's like also the one,
Yeah.
because you said it was the one with the bay window.
I don't know if we said it had a window because
I know we mentioned the window because you were set up so that James was backlit against the window,
that's true. Okay,
but
so
I don't
yeah, it's
remember if it
probably
was a
got
bay
nice...
window or if
I don't think it was a bay window.
it was
Just
a
just
large
regular
one.
window.
Okay, so
Yeah,
he's got
just
the
big
window and he's got the curtains down behind him, and he's running the lights, and so there's probably space like to his left to put the chaise
Mhm.
lounge along one of the
Mhm.
walls. That doesn't have the Iron
So you have like the
Maiden.
perfect viewpoint. You see like the behind the GM screen, and you can see
think
everybody else.
I'm guessing the map. There's a
You see
cool map,
everyone's
and there's
expressions. Yeah.
and there are cool minis, really cool
yeah.
minis,
Mm-hmm.
like articulated at the arms.
Fog machine,
Yeah.
everything. Yes.
And proof positive that James is at his core a divine being. All the minis are painted.
Yes.
All right. Petra's gonna take this opportunity to try and. She's going to sit
Cause trouble.
on the opposite side of Masters, so he has to sit closer to Marta. I think. And she'll kind of like fuss with the figures, like the models, the ones that are like the enemies, the ones that aren't like the character ones.
Mm-hmm. Like the ones James has on standby.
Yeah.
In case for when we get to the lizard people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in this moment, as we begin stirring the pot, we're gonna take the break for the evening, everybody.
And Marta scoots her figures away to the other side.
We're
Closer to
we're going to take a little break. We're going to get this going. And what we are going to take a break, stretch, bio, refresh, listen to the appreciate the dulcet tones that is our dear friend Hawkeye and the wonderful radio ads that he has given us for today. And we will be back shortly, everyone. I want you all to just think about how much drama is going on in this game room and how much drama might be going on at a dinner in the near future.
Ooh. And at the shop when the manager gets spoken to.
Yeah, that might happen too, but we'll see. We
Doesn't need to happen
will
on screen.
see.
But Luis will get Sundays off.
Luis just like feels like something the back of his neck's like something's wrong.
I
Something's wrong.
I am just picturing because of Vampire the Masquerade that Martyr's going to walk in and is going to not just dominate, but condition this manager that Luis will have every Sunday off for
There's
as
no-
long as he lives.
That there's gonna be no game next week. It's a shame.
So I have a question.
Or ever anymore.
My question is, what is going to happen when we actually get to the 90s and Vampire the Masquerade comes out as a
Oh
game?
god.
Will our group be playing it? Is the question.
God, Petro might GM if that might be a bad or like
We
that
will
might be a bad
find
idea.
out
That
in the
might be a
near
bad
future,
idea.
everybody.
Oh,
But until
no.
then, we'll see you in a little bit.
Texture your hair with Vidal Sassoon finishing rinse. The original salon formula makes normal hair texture feel like it wants to be felt. Extra gentle smooths and silken stride damaged hair. And now, Clear Body adds Rich Body to help manage fine, limp hair. Vidal Sassoon texturizing finishing rinses. The third of 3 simple steps to beautiful hair. Vidal Sassoon. If you don't look good, we don't look good.
Oliver Apace, don't treat your puppy like a dog. Aries Solano, you're treating your puppy like a dog. Robin McLeod, are you treating your puppy like a dog?
Oh no, dog food's for dogs. My puppy gets puppy food. Puppy Chow brand puppy food. I know puppies need more, and Purina Puppy Chow has it.
Good for you, Robin.
No, good for him.
Don't treat your puppy like a dog, dog, dog.
No, no, no.
Give him puppy chow.
He'll say I told you so when he finds out that my cold medicine kept me up. He said we need Vicks NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can sleep medicine. He used it and he's sleeping like a baby. I tried this tablet. I'm still coughing, aching, feverish. He sure told me.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine. From the shamans of Vicks, of course.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We hope you're refreshed, stretched, bioed, did all the important things that you need to do. So now we can ask the very important question that's been on everybody's minds for like the last half hour. So, Luis, what are you doing for dinner tonight?
Luis is going to return home first to go grab his sketchbook and tell his wife that he's gonna, well, we'll just talk about it when we get there. So he drives in back home, and he's kind of a little bit in a rush. It's not too far from his house to the boutique, but you know, this is the days before like Google Maps, and he doesn't exactly know where this is, so he does want to get a move on so he can figure out where the heck this house is. It's a part of town that he really doesn't frequent much, and so he rushes in, and Shelly's already back, and she's like, "Oh, you know, it's just welcome home. I just put in some a casserole into the oven, and it should be out here soon in probably half an hour. It's like I can think of a couple of things we can get done in half an hour." And Louise runs through and is like, oh, that's so lovely, and like comes in, like, you know, gives her a peck on the lips, and is like, it's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, I would love to, but this guy came in, and he talked about wanting wanting a suit or something, I don't know, but he invited me over for dinner, and I'm gonna go do it now." And then as Luis is like running through and trying to figure out where the last place he put his sketchbook was, he is one of those, you know, one of those things you put it down and then where did that thing go, you know? 1 second it's there, suddenly it's gone. And then, so he's running around, like, opening drawers frantically, being like, "Is it here?" Like, looking under cushions. And in the background, you just hear a very loud, like, slam onto the counter. And when Louis turns around, he sees that Shelly, like, slammed, like, a mug down onto the counter that she was drinking from. And she's like, "You always do this. You say we're gonna talk, and then we never talk. Every single time I know you don't want to talk about this, Luis. I know you don't want to talk about it, but we have to. You graduated. Now we need to think about our futures." And Luis, still frantically looking through everything, still like Wikipedians trying to find this thing, but with now an added anxiety. It's like, look, it's not my fault. You know, he came in and he offered, and like, what? I'm not going to turn it down. This is about my future. Exactly, Luis. It's about your future. Always your future. What about what I want to do, Luis? I came all the way from my country here to live with you and get married after a year of knowing each other. And you said that once we settled down and you graduated from college, we would go off and we would explore. We would see the rest of the world. I lived in the same place this entire time. And I when I came to the United States, I wanted to see more, and you said we would. And we've only been up to New York to go see your friend. It's like, that's all we've gone off and done. There's so much more. We haven't even gone back to go see your family in Mexico, Luis. It's like, I've been busy, Shelly. I don't know what to tell you. I need to make a name for myself before I can even think about doing anything. A name for you. Work at a Lacoste in downtown. What are you doing down there? That's not making a name for yourself. You had that opportunity to go off to Chicago to work in that for that designer. It's like, but it's not what I wanted to do, Shelly. That wasn't my vibe. That's just this mainstream, just not my. But it would have been your foot in. Isn't that what you're always saying? You want to put your foot in to the door and get something done. I want to go see the rest of the world, Luis. You are wasting your opportunities here. Back and forth, all the time. Not wanting to go anywhere. I want to go traveling. And you said we would go. And Luis stops his frantic looking at everything. and turns around and looks at Shelly, who at this point is irate, to say the least. It's like, what do you want me to say, Shelly? What do you want me to say? This is an opportunity of a lifetime. I have to be there I have to leave in the next 5 minutes if I want to get there on time. It's across town, I think. I want you to tell me that after this opportunity, we are going to go around the world. That is what I want you to tell me. It is not like we cannot afford it. And Louis stops for a moment and just looks at her, looks outside the window across to see the side paneling of his parents' house, the house he grew up in. And he thinks about it for a second, and Shelly's like, and? So? What is it going to be, Luis? Because one way or another, I'm going. And Luis looks back at her and I have to go. I have to go. We'll talk about this later. Yeah. Someone's going to talk about it later. And Luis grabs his keys and grabs his sketchbook, which is obviously on like at the table, and runs out and goes to go meet Jim for dinner.
At the Mercer house. Well, renamed the Mercer Williams house. Jim Williams is well known for his restoration efforts in the city. He's began them in the 50s and he's been working his way through. This particular abode is well known and may or may not be the location where he killed the person. You know, just these things. But as you pull up on the drive, the oaks of Savannah hang heavy over the road. See the wrought iron gate leading up to this large brick house. White accents. It's stunning. Gorgeous, even. There's a light on next to the door. One of those lantern kind of things that look like it's been repurposed for electric light. There's also a soft, almost candlelight coming from one of the front rooms. And there's low music playing in the background.
Luis goes up and takes a second in the car to just like breathe out, you know, make sure he doesn't look as frazzled as he feels on the inside. And then he walks up to the door and knocks and waits to be let in.
The door opens. Jim Williams is standing there. Kind of got a smile on his face. He looks, but the only thing that looks different from him from when you saw him earlier is he's missing the sweater that was hanging around his shoulders, and you know, is kind of changed out the loafers for boat shoes. You know, more casual kind of thing. Still not wearing any socks, but whatever. With boat shoes, it's a little bit more okay than with loafers. Just throwing that out there. One of those two things at least makes sense. Is Mr. Walters. Thank you. Come on in. Why don't you come join me for dinner? My friend who runs one of the best restaurants in Savannah. Y'all like fish, right?
Of course, I wouldn't be from Savannah if I didn't.
Good, good. We got some good old shrimp and grits and some nice fried catfish. Oh, greens is absolutely wonderful. You will enjoy this, I swear. Come on. Uh, drink.
Asking if I want to drink.
Yeah.
As
he walks over to like what
course.
looks like a sideboard bar along one of the, as he leads you into the candlelit dining room that's in the front of the house, and you can actually look online. It's an absolutely gorgeous space, and you can hear, as you kind of listen and pay a little bit attention, some Bobby Goulet playing in the background on a vinyl.
Yeah, I would love a drink. And I like look over and see the selection and become a little intimidated.
It's a full bar.
Yeah, it's a little intimidated when I look over, and I think what kind of whiskey you got?
Oh, wise choice. I've got a very fine bourbon. Woodford Reserve. Single cask. You will appreciate this, your good taste in drink, sir. And he will pour from a crystal decanter with a little silver tag on it that's etched on it that says bourbon. And you can smell the sweetness that comes off of this. A little bit of burn as he pours it into a cut crystal rocks glass. Doesn't ask if you want a rock. He puts a single rock in there, and hands you a glass. Pours one for himself, hands you a glass, and then just kind of knocks his against yours, and takes a sip while maintaining eye contact.
And I will I'll do a little, the classic swirl. I get a couple of notes of the whiskey, and then I will take a sip also, and really appreciate it before swallowing. And I'll say, and it's just whiskey, right? It tastes just like whiskey.
Oh, it's a really, really good bourbon. Like, this is not bad at all.
Okay.
This is
and I'll be like,
this is exactly what it tastes like. This man is not trying to poison you. He is entirely.
Oh, no, it's one of those, I don't have to lie that this is good, right? Like, that was one of those checks.
No. And you do not have to lie that this is good. This is exactly what he says.
So I after I swallow, I'm like, this is a mighty fine bourbon, Mr. Williams.
Jim, call me Jim. I come sit, and he'll lead you to the dining room table, and it's a table for 10 with only 2 place settings, one at the head of the table which he is sitting at, and one directly to his right. And he kind of gestures for you to sit as he sits at the head of the table. Beautiful Chippendale style furniture. It's absolutely gorgeous. He has put a lot of money into restoring this to its 19th century glory. This house is a work of art. Now in modern day it's a museum, but
it has a little of a lived-in feel right now. And as we sit down and the meal, I'm assuming, is getting served.
Yes, there is a wait staff that serves in like a livery kind of suit. Not quite a tux. That would be a little too aggressive for what's basically a business dinner, or at least was billed as a business dinner. But this is very much a gentleman who has, maybe a butler, but Jim answered the door himself. But there is a gentleman who comes in and serves. First, really, really good shrimp and grits, and if you can eat it, I wish you joy, and those of us who cannot are just sad.
Uh, and as the plate gets placed in front of us, I'll say, you've done a beautiful, beautiful job with the restoration on this house, Jim.
Oh, thank you kindly. And it is a passion of mine. I believe that we are caretakers of this, and we need to preserve for the future to ensure that future generations can enjoy this beauty. And honestly, some of what those people are doing and calling architecture these days, well, I can see not quite a lot of appeal in it.
Certainly there's something special about old architecture.
So, and he kind of leans back. You know, he's eating and enjoying, and there's a very fine wine that's poured as well to white, probably a Chablis at this point, to go with the shrimp and grits. So, I require a statement piece. New house I'm opening, allowing the people of Savannah to appreciate. But I'm also holding a small get together. It's gonna be a small garden party. Black tie. I want something that would be both matching the period of the house, but expressing more modern sensibilities and figure. And would have to be perhaps well, would draw the right kind of attention when one entered the room.
Of course, of course. Do you have anything in mind or any inspirations that you want to incorporate?
Well, I've always been a big fan of Clark Gable. And this house does have a large sweeping staircase. I feel like we should honor our traditions. I mean, it's if one could compare to Rhett, then that would be the epitome of class. Don't you agree?
Um, Absolutely. Especially in this house.
Oh no, not this house. This is my current abode. No, it'll be the one. And he kind of points out the window to a house that's like kitty corner across the street. It's one of my latest projects, and you can see like there's still like the landscaping looks like it's just been planted levels of stuff. You know, the paint looks uber fresh. That level of he's literally just finished restoring this house across the street.
And Luis will look at him and be like, "Oh, okay, all right."
There are four white columns on this colonnade, beautiful established house. It gives a little bit more Gone with the Wind than the Mercer house does, or at least what people expect of Gone with the Wind. Although it's also a townhouse, so there's kind of go with that. This is gonna be my latest presentation. The gardens are gonna be open to the public. I'm hoping to establish art gardens.
Oh, and definitely something that's going to be appreciated in this town. And then as he's speaking, as Luis is speaking, he's like sketching out sort of an idea for a suit. And then like on the side, different like accessory pieces, like the
Cravat,
ascot, and yeah, or that, yeah, and the ideas for a possible hat, like different statement accessory pieces that could be added. Things like gloves, anything that Luis can think of to be like from that era, slash kind of modern, to give a little bit of a a mixture of two, not to seem so stuffy and old, but also kind of like cool and modern. Ideas like that. Any accessory on the side, he's sketching out on the side as he's like drawing out the suit and the vest, etc. That would be on.
Mm-hmm.
As he's speaking to Mr. Williams, excuse me, Jim.
Look, all I can tell you is give you what this man was like. By the way, please no one try and sue me for defamation of this gentleman. He is a real historic figure. You can look him up, and everything I've just described about you so far is the gentleman as he was presenting himself. In 1985. Including the murder charge.
And as we're going, and I'm like, well, since it's going to be sort of an what did I say, an artist gallery?
Well, the gardens will be like a sculpture garden kind of thing. Is what he wants to do.
Yeah. All right. Since we're doing this out in the garden, are you thinking any patterns, or are you thinking just a normal straight colored suit, one color suit?
I'll leave that to your discretion. Whatever you think would be appropriate. I want to be the center of attention for the right reasons.
Of course. And he like starts scribbling a little bit here and there on the sketchbook. And as he's getting to like the personality points of the suit, he's like, so Jim, what aside from restoration, what else is it that you enjoy doing?
There's going to be a long pause as he takes a sip of drink and raises an eyebrow at you, and we're going to pan the camera over to Petra. How are you stirring this pot, Petra?
How far into this game are we now?
That's probably, I mean, like, by this point, if we're matching time zone, it's probably like 5 o'clock.
How long into this one shot?
Probably coming to the endish, right? Because we've probably been doing this for about 5 hours.
Yeah, you're coming to the end. It's the great large battle sequence. At least one of the NPCs that you all like has died heroically in defense and, on the battlefield, and one mech ton has been exploded. Although, and somebody has thought ahead and had an ejector seat capsule, and therefore didn't die outright from their mech ton being destroyed.
Everyone's in that dramatic fight, 10. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Minnie's on the board.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 3 hours of, like, awkwardness. Alright, it's time.
It's time. Oh, no.
She is, it's a decently sized table, right?
Oh, yeah. Solid wood. This sucker heavy.
Okay. So what she's going to do... She is very aware that Mar does not like the figures being touched. So she's gonna wait until the figure is out of immediate hand's reach. And she is going to, Celia first, grab Marta's, like, little mini, and Master's little mini, and smooch between the two of them, and look at them.
I would also like to remind you that Mechton is an entire game where there is an entire thing where you roll about your romantic history, and
yeah, it's making her mad. It's making her mad that this has not been like she's like taken advantage of.
I need to make a notice check
Yes, please. Everybody make a notice check. Everybody who's at this table make a notice check. I would almost ask Lewis to make a notice check, but he's too busy.
Lewis is at the dinner and it's like something is not right at the gaming table.
Something
I can
is
sense it.
desperately wrong.
All right. Notice.
Awareness
Marka.
notice.
Oh no. Persephone.
11 from Masters.
Hold on.
18.
Who doesn't? He probably doesn't even notice. Actually, he's so worried about.
No, she's gonna. This is not secret. This is
17.
not. This is not subtle. This is almost
Oh,
looking at.
yeah.
Yeah. No.
And Trooper, you have to remember, in this system, 11 is a really great roll. For the DVs, like the DV is like 9.
Yeah,
Of course,
the
Marta
base-
notices the most because Marta hates the minis being touched.
Yeah, and Apollo is sitting across from Petra at this point, so it's real obvious. The question, however, so Persephone, Marta, Apollo, Masters. James notices and he says nothing.
Can I make this like? She's trying to incite something, or
Are you? Oh, you want to make this a social combat? So you wish to incite
yes, get
someone?
social combat with the 10-year-old.
Oh,
Come on.
No.
So to incite.
mystical 10-year-old.
So, incite is persuasion incite, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's here. Go ahead, roll.
I'll take
roll.
a dice off. Like, all right, let's. She's a child. She doesn't have like her mom's like persuasion.
Is she a child though? Is she?
Well, she's 10.
10.
She's definitely a child.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with her inner soul.
No. Like. I'm going. You know what? I need this.
You have 2
I'm gonna use
bonus
my
dice in your
I'm gonna use
frame.
Of course, I'm gonna use.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
One or both of them.
Both of them. All right. Does the bonus dice comes after the penalty dice, right? On the thing?
Yeah. Well, it should just
Oh, bonus.
ask you.
I know it's there. Oh, it
It's a
is there,
pop up.
never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. All right, let's go.
An 11. That's actually not a bad roll.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
very good roll.
It's a child.
An insight goes against your passive.
we
Your
choose.
Is your intrigue
intrigue
defense.
This
Oh,
is against your intrigue defense.
What if it matches? What happens then?
It
That's a
matches.
hit.
That's a hit. It's
That,
one
That's a
Okay.
hit with 0 degrees.
Okay. Marta's
Right, it-
fine. Persephone, however.
But that
Yeah.
means you just
Oh,
take
can I-
damage
oh,
to
can
your
I- can this- can
composure.
this-
Yeah, it takes
Can
damage
this
to your
be? Can
composure.
this be like within the love triangle wide?
Love
Yeah.
triangle
Oh,
one. Yeah.
This is
Oh.
this is the shotgun approach. This is not.
The shotgun approach.
Oh,
of,
this is
let's see what happens.
this is
This is-
going to everybody in this complex love polyhedral. I am for this.
Yeah, this is not particularly. Like,
So this goes against your intrigue defense. If it is an 11, it's a hit with 0 degrees, which means no damage. But you are now drawn into this intrigue, basically.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Marta's got shockingly good intrigue defense.
And
Why
Marta's
is
probably.
Persephone
I mean,
so low?
Marta's like I don't expect Marta
Girl,
to be like Marta's
11 is high.
Marta's a
11.
vampire.
11 is very high.
I
Oops.
don't.
Oh. Well, Marta's is 13.
I
for
mean,
intrigue
that's not
defense.
surprising. That's not surprising. I mean, Marta's a
Marta's will has to be really high.
centuries old vampire.
What-
Marta and Persephone have the same will, which is why I'm like, what?
It's
Status play into it?
Yeah.
There's a number of things that's playing.
That's what it is. It's the status. Marta's like, this is beneath me. Don't touch my fingers, though.
I do not take any composure damage because of my the defense rating I get for having a friendly disposition towards
Oh.
She likes.
Petra.
Wait, your friendly disposition would,
You had a
Reduce
DR2.
damage.
yeah, reduce damage. Well, sometimes your negative disposition reduces the damage too, so it gets weird. But yeah,
It reduces by more.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would
That's
like to
Apollo.
respond.
Oh, no.
Okay, so wait, does Apollo
Like,
is
yeah,
Apollo?
it's a
I
child.
want to
You need
know.
see
I
it.
want
You
to.
need
Okay,
to, like yeet the child away from the table. It's like no.
No, this is Apollo. Apollo doesn't need to be physical.
No, that's what I mean. It's like whatever mentally, just like this is an overstep.
So,
She knows it.
am I correct in thinking Marta's the only one unaffected at this
Oh, no,
table
no.
by this?
No, I'm not. I can soak it. I'm good.
Okay.
But
Ap-
I see
Apo-
it,
there.
of course.
It's out
Apollo,
there now.
this is beneath him, but also he knows.
No.
He notices and knows.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that the adult voice. Young lady, put those down. And I'm going
That
to roll
sounds like
persuasion
intimidate.
intimidate.
Oh,
Yep.
So what's
That's
the
what it
what's
sounds like to
the
me.
what's the
The defense? It goes
Yeah.
against your intrigue defense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the hell that is. I'm just using.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's on the tab. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
22.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, 9.
Ooh.
oh. Whoop.
Fear of God.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Masters
touch
is
my
just,
figurines,
looking
young Ja.
It's Petra.
No, that's
Oh,
fine.
that's right, that's right,
fine.
Petra,
The all
Petra.
like you know what?
Don't touch my figurines, Petra.
You've
But
lived centuries,
Persephone
you've seen
is
lots of shit, like-
simmering
yeah.
in that corner, just like. Masters is just shuffling papers. Persephone's gonna speak up. Hey, Petra.
She'll look. She's like. She's scared
What'd
of
you-
Apollo. I mean, she can,
Yeah.
but she doesn't like. She doesn't give a shit about Persephone. Persephone's like
Yeah.
not much. Like it's like you know what? You're not that fun. Like in her mind, it's like I'm.
Why'd you have those? Why'd you have those two kiss? Why not other
Oh my god!
figurines?
Oh no! Oh. She's gonna push Persephone's figure further away.
As Persephone's just like.
And she's
I
like,
can't
no.
find my
She's like, no.
dice.
She's like,
I'll be right back.
James leans over and goes, they're here, masters.
Oh. Thank you.
There is the getting up from the table, the heavy footsteps going down the stairs from the attic, and there is just young Ja, you need to retrieve your child.
D10s, right? I totally forgot.
her eyes
no,
are
for damage,
Masters.
for damage it's d6s, and
I have
you're gonna
D6s
need
too. You want to borrow mine?
yeah, you're gonna need all of them for the psychic damage you're currently suffering.
I think
Here.
young Ja like doesn't need very much. She knows like this, you know,
He's like,
aware
I
of
have
her.
stirred.
Just like it's like there's a mad like when you clench your teeth and breathe. Just like
Mhm.
exhale. What'd she do?
I believe
thought-
she is trying to socially manipulate the table. And she is having some success.
She'll look at Opal. It's like oh no.
Who's she having success against right now? That's a very important question.
Your daughter.
Oh no. Okay. Let's.
Okay. I think I'm so like she's like I think she's gonna rush. It's like I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm glad for you that
She
it's
is-
not Marta, but
She
I
is in
don't know
trouble.
what's.
She is.
Mhm.
I thought that she was paying attention. She's been here a couple times, and she
I
hasn't.
think she's been paying a lot of attention. That's probably the problem.
Okay. Well, okay. I need to. She's gonna rush up there.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna bring refreshments. I'm right behind you. Just grab a tray of whatever. And whoop.
I'm sorry. What is the situation with cover? Do we?
Oh, it
do we have
reduces your damage. The cover takes the damage first, and then anything that goes
Right,
over
that's
will, if you know.
Just need to borrow my D6s, masters? I got so many D6s. I got D6s for days.
found my dice
Why
right
don't
there.
you borrow? Why don't you borrow
Um,
Marta's?
Whose turn is it right now? It's mine still, right? It's my turn.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna,
about to, you have to give me a defense of some sort.
yes. My sort of dexterity dodgy sort of a thing.
No, it's your
uh,
pilot, and
Marta
piloting
doesn't
is
share
your
her dice,
is your
Petra.
dodge
Right.
here.
right. Yeah.
What
Yep, let me.
What you said? What was the first?
She just said Marta doesn't share her dice, Petra.
Yeah. I got that's my reflex. So.
Hmm.
Uh.
But no, but it's the mech's
13?
reflex, not yours. It's your piloting skill and the
Well, oh.
mech's reflex.
Right. Yep.
I can help
Right,
if you
that's
want,
right, that's
Masters.
right,
I'm real
that's
good at the math.
I got it right there. That it is a
And
9
she scoots
good.
into where Apollo's spot was, so that Masters is right between Marta and herself.
9.
Well, you're gonna take some damage to that arm. That's right arm servo. We'll see how this goes. And he kind of looks up as Youngjaw comes in, and
Oh, what is the
and
state?
he
Is
makes
this like?
and he makes eye contact over your shoulder with Opal, and just has this look. Opal, your husband is enjoying this.
Oh no, James.
Because for now, it doesn't matter whatever happens in the future. At this moment, there is a gentleman seated at Marta's table who is in a worse position socially and in a more awkward position than he ever had to be in. Like,
That
this
is fair.
is Schadenfreude for him after
Yes.
the whole thing at the drive-in.
For the whole years of yes. Mhm.
This is like, he's just like, ha ha ha. But he's not saying anything, and he's not making it up worse.
There's just that look of, okay, yes, but our daughter, we is okay. Mm.
Yeah, my arm just yep. That damage, I'll take it.
Yeah, I
Marta's
think you
just
got I
sitting
think you
back
got 11 kills in that servo, so you should be fine. It shouldn't even do a lot of damage to it.
Oh, I think at this point, what was it? Yeah, I think Youngja is just like she has seen like this is exactly like what
There's
she
some
this is
tension.
like
I
the
felt you
tension,
downstairs too, so yeah.
and she like she would try and like see if Masters okay, but this is maybe not the time. This is maybe the time we don't acknowledge what maybe happened. And
On
just
my
like,
turn, I'm gonna come to Master's aid. That is not a very efficient decision. Why would you do that? The enemy is over there.
I told you if you were good, you could stay here, but apparently you can't be trusted with this. We're gonna have to go home now. And I think like it's the sort of thing where you're kind of like led by the hand away. And okay, there's gonna be
There's
maybe it's like maybe Marta can assist her next action. And as she's like pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Because it turns out she does know the rules.
She
It's
does
just
know
she
the
only
rules.
uses
She
them.
does.
She
Yep.
doesn't like she's
Well, it is Marta's turn in the turn order, and she is closer. It is a possibility, Marta. Do you wish to assist Masters in defense? He is about to be overrun.
Look, she like
Well,
looks
yeah.
at the board. She's gonna make a warfare check.
Yeah, go right
'cause
ahead.
This is. Yep. I think strategy checks out.
appreciate
Yeah,
that,
this
Marta.
is either
Appreciate that Marta's just
yeah,
on
it
combat.
would be strategy, not tactics.
Yep. 14.
Mm-hmm. Very
Seems
well.
Efficient maneuver here. I suppose if you're a person down, it would make things a bit more difficult. Might sustain it for
Oh, actually, no, Marta.
No?
Marta would know that, yes, theoretically, he will be overrun. Yes, theoretically, assistance could be
But my
given to...
cannons.
But your cannons would actually be better served to just turn and broadside them as they're coming out. So rather than going to him, you should just fire at the enemy.
Yes, no, I'm not going to go help him. He's fine. See, look, I'm going to move here. And I like make a face and I pick up my mini because it's been touched by someone else.
It's left. It's left. Like when they both their heads are tucked together. It's like, oh,
Yep.
that you left those things there.
Put it back to where it was, and then I move it to where it needs to be, and I turn it, and I use this attack, and it's lots of damage. I hope you're ready.
Oh yeah, that's actually a real good. You're not gonna die, masters. At least not yet.
I'd be real upset if you
Mr.
died,
Gwillem's turn.
masters.
It's Mr. Gwillem's turn, right? What are you gonna do?
You're muted
You're
for
muted,
us.
Pope.
As there's this call for him, he comes back up the stairs.
Uh-huh.
He just holds up the gloved finger. He's still in the full outfit.
Mm-hmm.
He just walks over as Youngcha is pulling Petra away. And in that passing, I do not envy you the choices you're going to have to make. And then hands her 2 cards. One's for Mikey.
No.
The other's for Dante.
Who do you hand this to, Youngjaw?
Yeah. They may be able to help. Choose wisely. As he goes and sits down at the table.
So what happened was
yeah,
these
Mr. Will,
moved.
it's
You
your
can see
turn?
that they moved, and I broadsided them with my cannons.
Oh,
Masters almost died
yeah.
again.
No, I'll just. Looks like Masters is in trouble. I will do. Yeah, this looks like a time.
Persephone's in your seat. She hasn't scooted back.
Well, no. Like
Yeah.
he's fine with this.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna like reaching over Persephone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm
here
just
you go,
gonna...
Uncle Paolo. We'll swap spaces.
Okay. And he just like, I think I can clear half of Master's problems out with a missile strike. So let's try that.
Yeah, give me a roll. Give me that missile strike. And as you go to roll those, we're gonna pan back over to the very nice candlelit dinner. We are now into dessert. It is a chocolate souffle.
I'm not sure which event is worse in terms of more tension. I don't know which one has more tension. I have no idea, actually, but it's fine.
And many individual chocolate souffles are being served with a whiskey cream sauce.
Ooh, fancy.
And
at this point,
he's kind of reclining back in the chair, like lounging in this chair as he's, dessert is finished, and he's got a Waterford snifter of brandy that he's kind of swirling in front of him.
And at this point, I'm probably like on my 3rd page of ideas. And there's one design in particular that has really taken Luis, and it's inspired by an original sketch for the Gone with the Wind outfit, which is, classic 3-piece suit, but it has it was navy blue with pinstripes, but because this is a garden party and a daytime party, he's thinking of something a little bit lighter. So he then it's like, all right, maybe like something like off-white, maybe tan. And he's like asking like for like, in the pastel family, like what are you more attracted to? And things like that. And as it's being made, and as the classic, like I have no idea what this kind of vest is called, but it's the one that like you have over and waistcoat and with all the buttons on it. One of those on, and with the whatchamacallit ascot, whatever the hell it's called. I'm real good at fashion, guys. And so and then also with grown real attached to the idea of a hat. So he keeps trying to come up with ideas for the hat, and like figuring out different places he can put patterns to see like, what works out, and depending on what Jim says, And to give you the disposition of Luis this entire time, very much focus on the work. He understands that there's like there's a different social layer to this interaction, but to him, he is, when you get in a fight with a significant other, maybe, you kind of just want to dive into your work a little bit. He's kind of taking this opportunity to just like really give it his all at this opportunity. And like, letting the other level of this conversation kind of just right above him, while he interacts with it. He's not very much playing into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. As you finish this design, and he's kind of going to give you some notes, it'll be very. Could you have Luis roll me either? I'll let you choose here.
Mm-hmm.
Either knowledge education,
Mm-hmm.
or status reputation.
Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Because there really isn't an option for, how good are you at this sketch and how good is it for what he wants?
Yeah. I haven't touched anything in status for a while because frankly I'm too afraid to look at the book at this point. There's nothing that is affected from there's nothing that's affected from stat wise into status, right? It's just another stat that you put in points every once in a while. Okay, good.
It's
yeah. Do you have any education? No, I probably should have put a point in education this last session. Oh, well, that's neither here nor there. I'll put in that one bonus dice that I have.
Yep. 16. Very nice. He is very pleased with this sketch. Now, can you get that to me by the end of next week?
Yeah, absolutely. I can get this. I just need to probably go out and.
We're gonna need a Monday after Thanksgiving.
That works for me. Absolutely. I have a lot of free time, I think, coming up, so it should work out perfectly.
Sounds like a plan, my young sir. You are, of course, whatever you send as the invoice will be appropriately paid. Can I get something I'm gonna need something well, we'll discuss that in the future. I'm thinking that this might be the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
As long, absolutely. It's an absolute pleasure to design for you, Jim.
I'm glad. And he kind of will tilt his brandy glass to like chink with yours.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go back to that 28 you rolled in empathy, right? Because now that you're kind of focused on him and taking your mind away from the actual sketch and to make eye contact, you can kind of see. He's not actively attempting to seduce you, but at the same time, he's not attempting to seduce you, if that makes sense.
So just like what the Walters do all the time.
Basically. But there's also something else. Something just a little chill. A little colder than what the Walters do.
Mm-hmm.
Something different about this man. Some might even say other.
Something other than the other that's familiar to them.
Perhaps. Oh, you are of course going to join me. Bring your charming wife to this garden party that we're going to have. I have a some gentleman from the Atlanta Journal Constitution is going to come interview me. I think you'd be right. Definitely have to introduce you to him.
Absolutely. We'll make it it'll be a pleasure to attend. As like Louis has a little bit about a panic of, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear? And oh my gosh, it's my wife still gonna be there when I get back tonight. But you know, plays it cool and is like, oh, you know, it'll be an absolute pleasure to attend.
Well then, and you know, as he kind of ends the evening and starts to stand up and stretch. Well then, send your invoice to the house, and I look forward to whatever you create there, Luis.
So I look forward to doing it. And he'll like give a little bit of a nod of, you know, thank you for having me. It was a wonderful meal and absolutely delicious bourbon.
Definitely, we shall have one of these again. And he will lead you to the door, and he'll like clap a hand around your shoulder as he leads you to the door, and that kind of one-armed, not awkward hug, but it should be awkward, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you do as he escorts you to the door and out?
No, he simply you know, just keeps saying, you know, thank you for the opportunity, etc., as he walks out.
As we leave Lewis on the road, Bell Street, driving his way back home, back to Forest Street, we're gonna pan back over to the tension-filled game room. And I'm going to use this bonus dice I got right here in my frame for James to do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's fun. Why are you asking why? Because it's fun. Hey, Masters. The game has been shifted. And most of those enemies were taken out by a combination of the actions of Marta and Apollo. But one shot got through. I mean, it's a one shot. Somebody's gonna die. Welcome to one shots. Particularly one shots in the interlock system. Are we surprised that somebody's gonna die? No. One shot got through and crit on your reactor core.
Oh no.
You have, and it is described this way in the book, and it is one of my favorite things to say, you rolled high enough, you can now describe your flashback sequence as cherry blossoms stream across the screen and your one dying moment before you'll go up into a giant ball of flame. Yes, this is canon for the Mechton book.
This is what I was hoping. This is what I always think about that because it's really sweet. Also, it's really sad because you die.
But you're not insta-killed.
Yeah, you're not insta-killed. You get the
heroic
your
flashback
cinematic moment.
And James, this is where I'm going to use my bonus die, asks you this question. I'm just going to throw this out there. How, as he's, crawling himself out of the remains of the wreckage of his Mechton, to whom does he crawl towards? There's Marta standing about 15 yards to his left, and Persephone standing about 15 yards to his right. And Apollo standing about 20 yards over here. There is just that little extra pause before he mentions Apollo.
No, but he's surrounded by sharp wreckage. He can't get to Apollo.
Yeah, exactly. There's extra wreckage there. There's extra terrain damage.
Well, I think I would struggle to take a knee, and I'd look out. And I'd say, Grizzly, I know we've never said this before, looking straight at Apollo, but you are indeed my brother. And I want you to know that our Father gives everything to you, welcomes you back into the family. And then I die. You're muted.
Oh.
No, you pinged. It was just your noise gate didn't pick it up.
Oh, Dad! What? Just pointing at like his tipped over mini now.
It's the dice. I couldn't control nothing about dice. I don't cheat at this table. You know that, Persephone, is the rules. Every die is in
Yeah.
Every die rolls in public.
Yeah, looks at Marta. Yeah.
And as
That was great.
Yeah, Mistress, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, I'm working on my studio, so I've got practice, and I've got practice tonight as well, rehearsals.
Uh-huh.
So I had.
But you're
best
free for
be
like
getting-
Thanksgiving mealtime, right?
Of course
this
he's
is-
gonna come to
keep
dinner.
working myself. Well, I don't think I've got to go get rehearsals done. So
We rehearsing
that was an
all
amazing.
day. What
That
about
was
all
am-
night? We can do a
yes, that was
Thanksgiving dinner like really late at night.
No, I certainly can't. By the way, how's high school doing for you?
It's fine. I'm almost done. Graduate this year.
That's excellent.
Well, this next.
What you gonna do after that?
That's a great question. I haven't decided yet.
You know, off to college?
Maybe. Really depends on what happens. You know, just between then and now.
Now, you dating any high school boys?
No.
And Apollo
Shoot.
is walking away.
No, you did it. You were escaping and did a U-turn right back.
Uh-huh.
Just like
Oh, oh, oh.
And this
she
is where
makes a face when you say dating any high school boy. She's like, no.
and then
They're
James just
also-
under his breath says,
So-
"That's damn right, you ain't."
Well, yeah, they're all so immature and annoying.
Well, you just have to find the right one. All right. Well, I'd best go and head off to my rehearsal.
I'll walk you home.
No, it's all right. I've got to actually take my vehicle. So, I'll see
I'll walk
y'all
you to the
next,
car.
next Sunday.
Yes, next Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna be back on schedule for more D&D. I believe we're about ready to level up. If my math is correct, you should be
Ooh.
within like 15 or 20 XP to level up. And he's flipping through his book, and you can see he's Persephone, that'd be right nice of you. Escort Mr. Musgrove down to the door.
All right, I will.
Just looks at Marta like, okay, I guess.
She's
Uh,
like cleaning off her mini. She's like got the little and then she's like, "Ugh, it's fine now. Just
So-
gripping up. She's like, oh yes, I'll see you next week for D&D. No.
some of the paint from the other minis got on there.
Yep.
Ugh, it's good paint. James, you're going to have to fix this.
Yeah, yes, definitely. I see. We can shift it a little bit. I think we're gonna. I think we changed the design on your armor, anyways. So it's time to repaint it.
All right, this is acceptable.
For that last level up, you got the +1 armor, didn't you? So we'll
Of
we'll
course.
redesign it. We'll add some textures in, and I
Yes.
figured out some nice way to make it glow from internally, give that expression of magical armor in the whole thing.
Good, good. Yes, you're going to paint it very well. Yes, no. You're going to paint it to my standards. Apollo, where are you going?
Like Apollo's already mostly down the stairs, and there is just
The whole-
a terrible, terrible thought bubble.
Uh-huh.
Because this means that right now Masters is right behind, is like a couple steps behind Apollo, and then
Mhm.
there's Persephone right
Yeah.
after that, and then it
Mark-
looks
And
like
Mark
Mark
is at,
after
like,
that.
the top
Mara
of
just
the
don't
stairs.
even care.
Yeah,
Mara's just like, I am Mark. I don't care.
I hope for all our sakes that that child never comes back unattended.
Yes, I can't believe she touched their figurines. Persephone's like, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Uncle Apollo. I think that's a great idea.
And
Come on,
just does
Masters.
the full turn, like the body on the back of the heels, just and then scurries off
Look,
into the
Masters
kitchen.
just bumps into him.
Into the kitchen where Opal is. And she's just like, mm-hmm.
Real
Oh,
life.
well,
And hands you a dish rack. Yeah.
Real life is mirroring things. Going to Apollo, try and save you from Persephone.
well, uh, great one shot. Go.
Yeah. So sad that you died, though.
Well, you know, it's a good. It's not
You were
personal.
very
it's a-
dramatic, though. I can tell that all your acting practicing has really paid off, like in your RP.
Thank you. I do try to. Yep. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Mhm.
well, best be off.
I'll walk you to the car.
Okay.
Is
Well,
everything all right, Masters? You don't. You,
even
making a
can even
face.
Miss Adeline
oh,
try to call out to
out of
Opal
the
to be
kitchen.
polite, you know.
You hear this? You hear the sink running. Oh, have a good night, Masters. See you next week. Oh, come for Thanksgiving. You don't have anything going on because she does not know what happened upstairs because she was doing dishes intentionally.
So get out of the house. And he's got his bag with him because he's going to head straight on over to the
Mhm.
studio. So,
Uh-huh.
Stephanie, you know, I want to say thank you out for trying to help me out there on the battlefield. Of the,
You know, it's the least I could do.
yeah, I mean, I think that's real nice of you, and I
Mhm.
appreciate it. I've always felt like you and me, we've had a really good a friendship, like you know, like brother and sister, and I feel like that's I've always appreciated because you know what? Here's the thing: I've only had a twin. I never had a little sister, and I feel really appreciative to have you in my life like that. That's real good.
Okay. And she just turns around, and goes inside, and slams the door.
Okay.
And straight to her room. You just hear
Man, I'm gonna
door
get-
slam, little footprints, little.
No.
Hey,
Masters, could you roll me an awareness notice, please?
Right.
She knows not to slam the door. What is this? Just mutters.
Good question. What it is that awareness notice. There you go.
16.
11.
Oh,
That's
11,
what
sorry.
that's all. No, 11. I
11.
only roll 11s. That's
Only roll 11s. You know, at least you're
It's-
consistent.
Yes, at least you're consistent. The only person who witnessed, at least visibly, this conversation is Jacob Hunt, who's washing his car, or at least waxing his car out in the front on his front drive.
Mhm.
Don't think I know him. He's that neighbor that doesn't really neighborly.
I was hoping you were gonna say Luis as he's pulling back into the neighborhood.
Well, Luis is also pulling into the neighborhood, but he's probably coming from the other direction, right? He's coming from the west because
that's
that's where
true, yeah.
that's where
That's
the
fair.
high-end town is.
Well, if Masters is walking to his car and it's probably parked at his house, 'cause he probably walked. He'll see Masters at least
Mm-hmm.
walking home.
Yeah, so
A bag.
Luis will see Masters as the car kind of pulls over, but the only person who
How
witnessed
is
that
Masters walking home? Out of curiosity.
conversation.
Just like, oh my god. It's just like, he doesn't look chipper. Let's say that.
Not as usual after D&D game reaction.
No.
And I'm betting
No.
somehow it's not about the death scene.
Sure, yep. It's totally about the
Well-
death scene. That's what it was.
Luis, as you coming home, you would see your friend looking
Dressed.
put upon. But do you stop, or are you going to have a conversation with your wife?
I
How could he have?
would
I'm
like
sure he'd want to have a conversation with his wife. I'm sure he would just love to. It's so important for him to do that. It's just that he has this other thing he has to do first.
Bros,
He's in no way
bros.
avoiding or
Uh-huh.
having conversations with his wife.
I would like to make an awareness notice check to see if I see Masters,
I would
because
say
there's a
so.
lot going on right now in Luis's head.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
How would I would like to put some kind of penalty to this roll?
I would say you have one penalty die on this because you are distracted mentally.
Okay.
You've got
Yeah.
both highs and lows running through your brain at the
Yeah.
same time.
Oh no, you
I'm
noticed.
just too
That's 666
fucking good
again.
at seeing.
You just
Yeah.
That body
With the
language.
penalty
Good at
die.
seeing.
That body
With the
language
penalty
is saying
die.
things.
With a penalty die, you still rolled a 22. And this is what you will see. You would see Jacob Hunt out there polishing his car. It's a real nice Cadillac Eldorado. White wall tires and everything. And you would see Masters walking down the street. You would also see this kind of like abbreviated wave, almost like Jacob Hunt was polishing and kind of like waved in the general direction of both you and Masters at the same time, is in the level of like, oh yes, I must be social and acknowledge that there are other people, but not really acknowledging that there are other people at the moment.
also say that door slam
The
was
door slam, yes.
loud.
Yeah, and that door slam was loud enough
It's
that
not
you.
normal human loud door slam. It was a
Ooh.
loud door slam.
I have a quick
crack
question.
on the.
Huh?
How reinforced is the Ardeline
Very.
house?
Oh, okay.
Very.
Oh, okay.
It withstands because it's the Ardeline house. If it was a normal door, it probably would have not been there
So it's like
anymore.
a real heavy, loud noise.
Solid, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There were some people who kind of cracked their windows, thought it was a backfire. Or maybe a gunshot.
Yeah, yep.
Mahogany. Very strong mahogany door.
Echo.
And it's
Mhm,
also
mhm,
it's also
mhm,
throughout the
mhm.
night.
Oak.
it's also Savannah, so there was a legitimate question: was that a gunshot? Somebody shot me in the wrong time? Day? Yeah, whatever.
Loud.
Then Luis will see Masters. But he also knows that Masters has been very busy lately. So he's going to, as he like catches Master's eye, he'll like wave, and he'll do like the like call me later sort of look, because he looks like it's like wanna.
Like you're in your car, right? And like,
Yeah.
Window down.
I
he just like kind of waves you over, like, hey. It's sort of like
And-
starts wait for you. He stops walking.
You walk towards his car. Yeah.
I would like to ask, is Smooth Operator playing on the radio?
No.
For somebody, not for Masters.
No. What is playing on the radio is, however, Foreigners, I Want to Know What Love Is.
It's perfect. I want you to
Oh,
know
no, wait.
that the song that's playing
Hawkeye.
right now,
Hawkeye's even
You
better.
the song playing
Persephone's
right
room.
now,
A total eclipse of the heart.
Oh god.
Just so you know.
Oh no.
what's playing right now in real life in my ear as the scene goes on, from the Carousel Court playlist, is "I Can't Make You Love Me."
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Oh no.
that's what's playing in my ear right now, and not on purpose. So it'll be like, I'm not gonna stop the car. It's gonna be a very slow roll.
Slow.
Like I'm just letting it drive
Walking
because I
over.
really can't stop the car right now, because otherwise I'm
Walking
not
to
gonna
the
want to
car.
keep going. Yeah.
Walking to the car, and you can
But
tell
I will like
he's walking over to the
crank down the
car.
window. I've
He's
like
like,
reached
"Ah."
over, I'm cranking down the window.
He's like, Luis, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, and you can tell this is like he's going to want to talk to you. Like he's walking towards the car, and there's this look of like, oh, it's Luis. Oh, thank goodness, right? And like you could just, it's like this, it's like he's seeing like
Light at the end of
like
the
the
tunnel.
lifeboat. Like the light at the top of the life preserver as he's drowning, and he's walking over. And I imagine your house with your wife who needs to talk to you is just over there, and you can see Masters walking towards the car with like, oh, good, it's my friend. Thank goodness, like everything will be fine now because I can talk to him.
Luis has the most conflicted look on his face, as he's looking at you, not stopping this car, just letting it roll. And like he's already cranked down the window, and he's like, "Luis, you're looking some kind of like I know you want to talk right now, but like I can't stop and talk right now. I want to hear all about it. I want to hear all about it, but I have to get home right now. Call me
Oh.
later after rehearsal."
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
And it's like, I'm so sorry,
I
I
hope
can't.
everything's okay. No,
You know.
the car's not even stopping. It's like, oh.
It's like,
hope
call
everything's
me,
okay.
call me later.
Okay. Okay.
You'll find out when I do. Drive in.
What? It's like,
It's gone.
Oh
and
my
I'm
god.
All we need is this conversation with Luis's wife, and then the phone call after to poor Masters. I'm here for this.
It's like, I hope you're all right. He says out loud to no one because you've driven away.
Oh my god.
Do I need to call Luis's work? Have they been given trouble? Oh.
Goes back, asks Marta. Hey, how did he sound on the phone?
I was muted.
The night of
I said that
emotions,
Jacob
right?
Hunt, Jacob Hunt thanks him for asking after his day, and then goes back to polishing the bumper on his Eldorado with white wall tires.
And so
maybe
yeah,
I do need to call his work.
Use Masters behind, just parks and immediately goes into the house.
Masters
Oh.
looks back at the Ardeline house, looks down the road to where his good friend Luis is, looks at Mr. Hunt, walks over to his car, and he's gonna drive down to the studio for rehearsal.
God.
Yeah. Mhm. Uh-huh.
And as Louise pulls into, as the master turns around and Louise starts walking into the house, he'll like look at the things around this household that have been added over the past 5-6 years. When was her last game? 82?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 3 years.
3 years. So yeah, the past 4 or 5 years. Looks at like the garden outside, and like the rose bushes that have come up over the past couple of years. Cultivated not by him. He's just like his dad, doesn't have a green thumb. And looks at like the little like lawn figurines like along the garden, and like walks up to the door that's new that they installed last year, to make it more of a family door instead of like the bachelor pad Umberto had. And he, cleans his boots on the welcome mat. That's also recent. It says bienvenidos because it's something that they both decided they didn't want to have one in English. And so he opens the door, walks in, puts his keys in or hangs his keys on a key thing that also is not something he had. He was perpetual, just put it on the table and move away and go on with his life. And just looking at all these like small little touches in their house, that are new since they've moved in, the things that make them more homely. And as he enters like the living space to like put down his sketchbook again, somewhere in the house that's going to get lost, he can smell what are the remnants of like sort of a burned casserole. And he looks around, and nothing really in the living room is touched. But he's kind of used to walking into the house and immediately being greeted. And so he goes over to the kitchen and sees like the burnt casserole in the middle of the table with like the table already set from before. And on top of where his plate usually is a letter with Luis on top of it.
And I think that's where we end for tonight. Because we're done with 1985. But the 80s aren't done with you all yet. Not
Never
next
claimed-
week because of the holiday, but the week after will be 1988, and lots of things will be coming up.
Never playing Mechton again.
Why are you not going to play Mechton again? Of
No,
course
them.
you are.
Them.
Because that's what
Them.
happened. It was it's Mechton's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
so
at some point, when someone went to check in on Persephone, there was a finger pointed at Marta and a yell of, "This is all your fault!" And then, like, another
Marta
door
doesn't-
slam. Yep, that's all. It's sure, it's Mechton's fault. Yep.
Yeah, Mechton's.
That was my hand.
But I thank everyone for being here. Thank you for putting up with our tech issues. I'm glad we fixed everything. Thank you for your patience. Thank you to my wonderful, fabulous players for joining me in this shenaniganry and drama. And now we are really leaning into that soap opera level of pot stirring that is coming out of this. Thank you, PB, for the full-on drama that was Luis Walters this week, and I loved every single minute of it. This was the perfect kicked off to Arc 3, our final arc of Carousel Court. Thank you for supporting this very, very indie project that, as I've been telling people, it's the art house TTRPG that I've been doing. We're gonna go around, let all of my wonderful players tell you where they can find you, all of those good things. Like I said, we will not be, I'll do my spiel at the end, but we will not be here next week because it's a holiday in the United States. But we will be here the week after. And why don't we go in reverse order, because we should start with the I'm going to say the one of my favorite performances of the night. Thank you so much, PB, for this. And tell us where we can find you, and share some love with your cast and all of those good things. Let us know. All the good stuff.
Absolutely. Hi, I'm PB from at PB Plays Inside, where you can find me over on Blue Sky. You can find me over on Twitch, and other social media platforms. But those are the two I'm most active on at this point. And I adore Lynn how you played Petra. Literally, just came in today and just fucking what a statement Petra made. Came in and just wrecked house, and I honestly love that. Love that so much. It was so good.
So good.
Oh my
So
god.
good.
It was just
So
like
good.
that entire shit stirring from the love polyhedral. Oh, it was so good. But just Petra just being unsatisfied with letting it go any longer. Just so good. 10 out of 10. My favorite thing of the night.
Okay, well, I agree. And actually, that's a great transition. Hey, Lynn, you're absolutely fabulous and absolutely wonderful, and we appreciate you coming back. And yes, I was here for all of the pot stirring for Petra. I can't wait to see what happens next. I will also give you all audience a peek behind the curtain to tell you Lynn and I have been messaging about a certain particular thing for Young Ja's sister, and certain details of certain Korean dramas about Young Ja's sister, and I am here for it all.
Yeah, it was great to get the come back and kind of like I missed the last couple ones, and I'm like I saw the D&D thing. I'm like, oh, this is great. Love this. We're masters. But yeah, I'm Lynn, Gremlin art pretty much everywhere. You can catch my art over there as well. And next time, other than here, you can catch me on Modern DM for our sound game that on Saturday afternoons at 1 p.m. And at some point after the holidays, I'm gonna start doing Gunplug and online. So yeah, thank you so much. God, yeah, I love Persephone. I'm like, I felt so like, oh no, it was awkward, and it was great. It's just like, just keep trying to just snatch victory from like a bad situation over until like you couldn't anymore. Oh boy, it was, and being two sides of the whatever situation that was. It was fantastic. I loved it.
I did indeed, and you should follow Lynn for all of their art because it is absolutely fabulous.
Amazing.
And speaking of the other pot stirrer for the evening, hi Lindy, how are you?
Hi, it's me, the pot stirrer. I mean, laugh, love, Lindy. So my love for tonight, I have a little love for everybody. I really enjoyed Luis just working his normal job. Like, no, Marta, I can't come into D&D tonight. No, please don't set the store on fire. No, don't. That only works in high school, Marta. That doesn't. Okay. She hung up on me. Fine, and then called back. Like, no, I can't come in on Thanksgiving. It's a family event. No, not a D&D family event. Okay, just. Oh gosh. Okay, I love that.
Yep.
And then all of the drama afterwards. Of course, I loved. I really enjoyed Yangja and Opal having a good old fashioned gossip over some booze downstairs, and Yangja's like, I'm just so glad that she's supervised upstairs and not with me right now, and it'll be fine. And then it wasn't fine. I just loved the two sides of that coin played so beautifully, by Lynn. And then Apollo also, I feel like Apollo Masters was most awkward. Had the like, okay, this is yeah, nope. They both tried to nope out of the situation, and Apollo was much more successful than Masters was, probably because he didn't have the target painted on him. That time.
Age
So
before beauty.
yes. So I really loved him just being like, where can I go? Just like the where can I leave? Kitchen, Opal, dishes, yes. Just thought that was great. And the using the grown-up voice, excellent. And then poor Masters. I absolutely loved how flustered. Like, so wait, I'm sorry, was it an attack? Oh yeah, that's right. I am in my mech. Just like caught dead in the middle between someone who cares a lot and someone who really doesn't give many fucks. except about the game.
Yeah,
And it's just beautiful. And then not just friend zoning Persephone, sister zoning. That's like the next level of friend zoning. Like that is the hardcore friend zone. And yeah, D&D will be fine next week, I'm sure.
Really? Cool.
I
Cool.
really want to know how that sad boy power hour phone call goes between Luis and Masters later that night. I imagine it's like 11 p.m. and just the saddest of sad boy power hours. Just so much anxiety.
Alternately, they go out drinking.
Ooh, that
Because
I
they're
want
both
to
over
see.
21.
They are. They go out and have drinks. And like Luis is like, I need a drink. And Masters is like, me too.
I have a feeling because it's Savannah and it's late at night. Because we got college age guys for the most part.
Dude.
It is they hit up the liquor store.
Oh yeah.
They do that 11 p.m. Liquor store run.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then quiet.
And then at Luis's house.
They hit up the drive-through on the way back.
Masters. Yeah.
And then it's booze and fast food and probably crying and hugging.
It's too sad to be around other people. We must.
Yeah,
this is mostly just like distraction.
Yeah.
And I could see Luis staying at Master's house instead of Luis staying at, or Master staying at Luis's house, how it usually goes. So it's the opposite, maybe. I could see it. I don't know what happens, but I want to know. So
we might
bad.
find
out.
That's
hold on a second. Sunday night, there's like a local college band, maybe something like that. Just go have loud.
Or the actual umpteenth thing that everybody does south of the Mason-Dixon line when you are emotionally impaired, possibly even inebriated to an extensive level, and you need the great saving grace of the only thing that will always be there, regardless of anything else. You hit the Waffle House.
The Waffle House, yep. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. at the Waffle House, and it's fine. But you can find me online at Laugh Live Lindy, being just fine. This is a busy holiday week, but you will find me on my channel on Tuesday for our Stargate Flames of Hope finale. Trooper will be guesting, so that'll be super exciting. He's a ship AI, and we're going great places. I'm sure only fine things will happen because we're the C team. We're not even the B team. We're the C team in this Stargate outpost. So I'm sure it'll be great. So that'll be super fun. Stargate finale. No Call of Cthulhu Below the Land of Fire this Wednesday, but next week we will have both our Monday, the new batch campaign, which is Call of the Netherdeep, and we're finally in the underwater city. It's terrible. And then Call of Cthulhu Below the Land of Fire, where it's getting so good. They're making the best of decisions, and Doris is fabulous.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a different definition of best decisions because I was like, that was like my impression of that one.
Well, it's open to interpretation. And then, you find me back here. Oh, and not this Friday on Trooper's channel, but for Traveler on Trooper's channel, most Fridays. So that's me, and of course you.
Indeed. And then that leads us to one half of the Sad Boy 3 a.m. Waffle House run. Hey Trooper, how are you?
Hey, I'm Trooper P. I'm doing well. He's not that sad. He's just like, this was very stressful. But I feel like, it's 85? I bet there's some sort of low rent heavy metal band somewhere in Savannah in like a college area at this point in time. Maybe with hair, some kind of like Motley Crue cover band or something. I imagine they could go find something exciting. It is 85. So let me see. I'm going to give my love first. I'm going to give my love to Lindy for repeated phone calls to Luis's work. That is a first thing that I have to give lots of love to. I'm going to be giving love to PB for that conversation between the two, which was subtle, but also very painful. Just like, I didn't even have to be in the room. I was over here through the Zoom and I was like, ouch. Like, I think I might be bleeding right now. I feel like I got cut by that one. It was so well done. Ah, Lynn, my love to you goes for one thing. That's the making like the little pretend like these are little miniatures, just like that, just that one there, because that was simultaneously such a 9-year-old thing to do, but also so shenanigans. It was really well done. I was like, that's a pot stirring that is effective, and also exactly what a 9-year-old do. It was the best. It was perfect. And then Pope, I am going to give you anti-love for just leaving Masters all by himself. I saw you. I saw exactly what you did. You're just like, interesting. Nope. Just out there, just leaving me out to dry. And I love you for it the most. And I also love how when you came back, not you because you were here the entire time, but when Apollo came back and did not hear what Marta had done, which was like heavy tactile business, and was like, "What do you do for your turn?" It was the exact same thing. I love the way in which you were able to like show the ways in which Apollo and Marta are so compatible. But I don't know if Apollo knows that Marta likes him. Anyway, there's a quadrangle, and I loved I loved your part in that quadrangle, and I really love Lynn for setting it on fire. So that was really great. And you know, you can find me. What is today? Today's Sunday. You can find me on Tuesday being a living ship over Stargate Flames of Hope with Lindy, and then on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel, I will be doing a going solo. I'll be doing some kind of solo RPG while people are running around doing Thanksgiving such businesses. And then, of course, I'll be back here on Sunday. No, I won't because it's the Thanksgiving businesses. Yeah, that's what I'm doing this week. And thanks.
Indeed. And last but never least, the person who noped out of all of that multiple times tonight. Hey, Pope, how are you?
Hey, it's great playing someone who's emotionally unavailable. Um, no, I'm doing fantastic. It is always a joy. I'm so glad that we're back. Uh, if you want to find me, just check for Hope World Build in all the social media places. Um, and there's so much love to go around. Uh, I have never been quite so terrified of a 10-year-old in my entire life. Um, Petra is going to be a problem, all caps. It is just a matter of what style of problem Petra's going to be. Like, she, like, we saw the devastation of 10-year-old 10 with that level of emotional observation skills in a magical family with very powerful traditions and possibly curses. This is a recipe for making when we get to the 90s incredibly volatile. So keep your eyes peeled on Petra. Oh my God, you have designed a family that just keeps dragging us deeper and deeper and terrifying us more. Um, and Trooper, the the paper shuffling. Oh my God, we you have either been there personally or you have been at the table when that has happened. You have either seen it directly or have been that person, and that was just it's the little character moments all the time that just makes this world feel so good. And like this feels now more like an 80s soap. Like beforehand, we got the 70s flavor right there. Now we're definitely in the 80s. Lindy, like I could say tons of great stuff about Mara, but Opal, we got, but you and Lynn going back and forth, with Youngja and Opal, like we got that Southern gossip scene that is a hallmark of soaps. Like, no, you guys gave us like a classic, and thank you both for that. PB, dear gods, um, so much can be said between that dialogue with yourself, that emotional avoidance of a dangerous situation, um, with Jim, to the car not stopping. Uh, but honestly, like, again, another one of the hallmarks, specifically an American hallmark of soaps, the letter, giving the absolute perfect end scene to any soap episode. Just mad props. And then Prax, you dug into the real life fault, and you dug out someone who is both immensely charismatic and incredibly troubling. I have no idea what you're doing with him. I'm absolutely terrified. And that's not something that happens often. So, congratulations. I'm scared. And like, I hope you all are scared too. Where live VOD YouTube story is nothing without its audience. You're much part of this as we are. Take care of yourselves and one another, especially this holiday season. I know it can be super rough. So be kind to yourselves. See you soon.
Indeed. Thank you once again, players. Thank you once again, audience. I appreciate each and every one of you. I also want to give a shout out to everybody who played, everybody who donated, everybody who hung out in chat, everybody who watched, and we lost Trooper, so we hopefully will be back soon. There he is. Hi Trooper. And everybody who donated, everybody who watched, supported, retweeted, all of that good stuff for the charity stream that we did last weekend. We unfortunately were not able to get Tech Gremlins stole our Aliens game from us, but we did manage to make our goal of $1,111.23, all going to the Fisher House Foundation. Fabulous, fabulous work, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. But we will be getting that Aliens game. That Aliens game will be happening on December 2nd, Saturday. Normal time, right here on the channel. We'll have that Aliens wonderfulness. I will be opening again, set it up so that we can have another donation run. Unfortunately, no more bricks plushies available because that was only for the weekend, but we will have those other things running just for that game. Again, thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, all of my wonderful, fabulous players. I've loved all the character moments that came from tonight. I loved everything that happened tonight. Hope. I gave you the hallmark moments when I pitched the game of certain things to be aware of. Did you think he wasn't gonna show up? For those of you who don't know, Jim Williams, spoiler alert, he is a real person. You can go look him up. Or you can look up a really fictional movie about him called Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. And see the house. It's really pretty in that movie. And other things that happened. But if you missed out on any of the Fisher House charity stream, you missed out on any of the VODs, all of those are found over on YouTube. You can hang out and look over those and drop a like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. There's also merch, including the Vampires for Nixon campaign badges. Those are available. You can also, if you want to support the channel, I have a Ko-Fi. All of that money goes back into the production here, making sure that I can do as much as possible to tell this wonderful story with these wonderful, wonderful players across from me on the table. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all of this. Like I said, we will not be here next week but we will be here the following week. And we will have some drama. We will have some fun. We're heading into 1988. Full 88 miles per hour. And all of the good things will be coming out of that. But that is where we're going to end for tonight. I'm gonna just see if anybody's still awake that we can share some love with. Sometimes we get lucky. No one is up tonight, so we're just gonna end it for here, and we'll catch you next time. But follow my socials because I was supposed where I'm going to be. I'm at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter, or Prex the Bard over on Instagram and Blue Sky and Hive. I post all of that, and sometimes I'll might random video game streams, whether that's Baldur's Gate or something else. We'll see. But a lot of Baldur's Gate right now because of things. So we'll end the stream here tonight, and I'll catch you next time, everybody.